Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto hates the Amazon harem. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Vizard 890 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. Prolong. Gotham City, the city of sin. The worst of the worst exist in the city. It seems evil as always is drawn to the city. Even when it first came to be. With the sun setting, the true evil of the city comes out. Gotham PD have their patrol cars parked out in front of a cathedral. The police officers have the street blocked off outside of the cathedral. Inside up the bell tower stands Commissioner James Gordon and Detective Harvey Bullock. "What do you take on this, detective?" asks Gordon. Taking the cigarette out of his mouth and blows out smoke, the shooter got lucky. "No way someone can make that shot from this distance," stated the detective. "I would agree with you, but someone did," counters Gordon. "Then who?" asks Harvey as he scratches the side of his head. "A new player." Both Commissioner Gordon and Detective Bullock turn around to face the Dark Knight, Batman. Gordon been friends with Batman for years and knows that Batman changes his costume and armor every so often. He can easily see that the Dark Knight changed his armor once more. "A new player? Like a new supervillain? Haven't had one like that since Darkseid attacked Earth 3 years ago," says Bullock. 3 years ago Darkseid attacked Earth with his forces and almost destroyed the world if it wasn't for Lex Luthor. Since then it was like new supervillains just stopped appearing. Guess people didn't want to deal with something like that attacking Earth and having to fight it. It's still possible. With the target being who he was," answered the Bat. Quincy Sharp was making his way to the courthouse for his trial for the crimes he did when he was mayor of Gotham. On the very footsteps of the courthouse he is assassinated. Batman made his way around the room. Bullock takes his leave seeing as he had to use there. Gordon steps back as he saw the whites of Batman's cowl glow white. For years the commissioner has been trying to get Batman to give him the technology for which he uses at crime scenes. Batman kneels down picking the lone bullet casing. "Homemade. Only those who are trained as snipers make their own bullets," stated Batman. "So it was an assassin, it wasn't a question, the question is how ordered the hit on him," questioned Gordon. "Sharp had more enemies than allies," answered back Batman. Batman maps a grind of the entire room. The table to the far left had been moved leaving markings on the floor. Batman moved the table where he saw during the shooting. He walks over to the stained glass, touches some of the panels till he found a lost one. Removing it, the Dark Knight can't see the courthouse from the bell tower. The shooter had to be skilled. From here the bell tower is 2.3 miles. "That's some shot. Do you think it was Deadshot or Deathstroke?" asked Gordon. "Deadshot is locked up in Belle Reve and Deathstroke haven't been seen since Trigon attacked Jump City several years ago. This has someone new written all over it," says Batman as he finishes scanning the room. "Do you think is it Hush?" Gordon asked, not wanting to know the answer for that question. Only a few people knew what really happened that night when Hush attacked Batman and the whole city. There was so much damage that the city of Gotham almost went into the red if it wasn't for Bruce Wayne paying for most of the damage. "No, Hush won't be making a return. I've seen to it personally," stated Batman, ending that part of the conversation. Gordon takes off his glasses to rub his eyes. He noticed for the last few months that his eyesight is getting worse. He isn't getting any younger. It's only a matter of time before the mayor makes him retire and let someone else, who is younger, take over. Gordon has also noticed that Batman's been getting slower. Showing that age is getting to him as well. "Right, let me know." Gordon didn't get to finish what he was saying as Batman isn't there anymore. "I hates it when he does that," sighs Gordon. 3 days ago, the assassin walks into the cathedral carrying a briefcase. He makes his way up into the bell tower. He sets his briefcase onto the table. Opening the briefcase, the assassin starts to assemble his sniper rifle. The barrel is placed into the stock. The scope is placed on top of the stock. The bipod are flipped down and the rifle is placed on the table. The assassin walks over to the stained glass, removes one of the panels showing a perfect view of the courthouse. The assassin walks back over to the table and sits down. He places a single round in the chamber, then locks the bolt into place. The assassin curls his left arm under the rifle, rests his right cheek on the stock, looking through the scope. Turning the dials on the scope to focus, judging the distance, wind speed, wind direction, humidity, planet rotation, and gravity. Finally the assassin flips the safely off. Breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. The assassin closes his eyes and becomes dead to the world. 3 days later, Quincy Sharp is making his way to the courthouse. He is going to trial for the things he did during his time as mayor, but he isn't worried. Sharp paid off the judge and the jury. The former mayor was going to walk free. 2.3 miles away inside the bell tower, the assassin opens his eyes. Taking a deep breath, he squeezes the trigger, not pulling it. Sharp walks up the steps when all of a sudden he stops. The former mayor drops like a sack of bricks. The assassin takes his time disassembling his rifle, placing each part in the briefcase. He pushes the table to the far left on the room and placed the panel back in the stained glass. The assassin leaves behind the single shell casing. Batman arrived back at the Batcave. He is going over his scans from the crime scene. The bullet casing is scanned into the computer. Another restless night, Master Wayne, asked Alfred Pennyworth. I'm afraid so, Alfred, answered back Bruce. Alfred looks at the computer screen. Seeing the courthouse and the cathedral and finally a red line from the bell tower of the cathedral to the courthouse. My, that is one impressive shot. The other people who could make that shot are Deadshot, Deathstroke, and Hush, says Alfred. I know that. It can't be Deadshot since he's locked up in Belle Reve. Hush is locked up underneath Wayne Tower. The only one that hasn't been seen is Deathstroke. Over at Coney Island, one Miss Harleen Quinzel is locking up the front desk to the apartments that she owns. After the death of the Joker, Harley just disappeared. Taking up her old name, she bought an old apartment complex with the money that the Joker hidden for his schemes. Harleen turns around and jumps back. Standing in front of her is a young man with sun-kissed blonde hair and the bluest eyes she has ever seen. Sorry. I didn't mean to scare you like that, says the young man as he rubs the back of his head. That's alright. I just wasn't expecting anyone to come around this later. I was just finished closing up for the night, says Harleen. Oh, you're closing up? I was hoping to rent a room. Well, let me unlock the front desk and start up the paperwork. What's your name, by the way? Asks Harleen. Naruto Uzumaki. What does not kill you make you stronger? What does not kill you makes you stronger. Naruto hates that saying with every fiber of his being. He remembers that day that Slade Wilson took him in. Training him. Slade promised Naruto's mother that he would make him into a warrior that the world will fear and have her vengeance. Vengeance. For killing the man that she loved. Vengeance for trying to take Naruto away from her. Vengeance for forcing her to flee from her home. Naruto, I want you to kill all those that did this to us. I want you to make them pay for you just being born as a boy. Show them that you are my son, and with the death. Naruto remembers how he had to hide from everyone on the island for not just his death, but for his mother's. Slade trained Naruto in the most dangerous way possible. If it wasn't for Naruto's heritage he would have died several times over. The blonde has done things that he isn't proud of, he's done things that he can't forget. That he doesn't want to forget. Africa. 12 years ago. The sun is out with no clouds for miles. It hasn't rained in 2 years. The smell of death is still fresh in the air from yesterday's battle. A child no older than 8 years old is sitting on top of a burned down jeep. The other child soldiers that he serves along with are striping the dead bodies of clothing, weapons, ammo, and food. Naruto. Naruto turns his head to see who called him out. Another child soldier runs over to him holding up an AK-47. People seem to think that both boys are brothers because of their blonde hair, but Naruto can't see that his fellow soldier's hair is slowly changing to a different shade. Jack, what are you doing? You know you shouldn't run out here like that. A sniper might pick you off, Naruto warns this friend. I know that, but Slade has returned. He says that he has a gift for you, said Jack. Jack's parents were killed in Liberia during the Liberian Civil War. In order to survive he joined a military unit called the Small Boy Unit created by a mercenary named George Sears, but otherwise known as Solid Snake. During the Civil War Slade forced his appearance Naruto to fight in the war with no experience of fighting whatsoever. By doing so, Slade forced Naruto to learn that what does not kill you makes you stronger. As the fighting continued both Jack and Naruto showed that they are natural-born killers. Jack became known as Jack the Ripper, while Naruto became known as the Golden Devil. What plans do you have for after the Civil War ends, Slade? Asks George as he lights a cigar. I intend to take my apprentice to Alaska for winter survival, answered back Slade. From the hot plains of Africa to the freezing mountains of Alaska. I would say that is cruel, but I don't have a say. May I ask why you sent the boy to me while I was fighting in the Civil War? I wanted to see if the boy could kill without hesitation. Given his heritage, killing should come with ease. After all, a mother who wants vengeance can be a very powerful gift of drive for one child. Jack and Naruto arrived where George and Slade are located. Slade turns to look at Naruto. The merc heard of Naruto's talent in fighting this war. Killing without remorse and showing no mercy to those captured. He would dare say he was proud that the boy could kill like that. The boy even earned a nickname. The Golden Devil for his bright blonde hair that if just catches the light just right it looks like gold. Naruto, I've heard of your feats. Your mother would be proud. Slade know that if the boy thought that his mother would be proud of him, then he would do anything. I must say, you are becoming one excellent soldier. Stated Slade. George saw through what Slade is doing. Using the boy's mother as a drive. A means to make him push for more deaths. It was truly frightening that Slade could do that to a child, but he himself has no room to talk. Sears trained and brainwashed orphans to fight and kill in the Civil War for his own gains. As you probably know this, the civil here is ending soon with the peace talks. In a few days I'll be taking you from here to truly begin your training as my apprentice," says Slade. Naruto's face brightened up. For the last 2 years he'd been fighting in this war. For 2 years he killed anyone that his rifle was pointed to. Massacring whole villages, targeting supply lines, targeting refuge camps, and killing anyone that doesn't side with them. "I have an assignment that I must complete. Once I finish, I will be taking you to further your training. Till then, continue to survive," said Slade before he walks away from everyone. Night quickly came. Thunder echoes across the plains, then the ground explodes. Dirt, metal, flesh, and fire rains down to the ground. The sirens come to life, waking the whole camp. Naruto bolts up from his sleep. The sound of gunfire and flashes of light appear all over camp, then several flares are fired into the night sky bringing light. Naruto grabs his AK-47 and rushes towards the fighting. Enemy soldiers found the small boy unit campsite and waited for nightfall to attack. The soldiers were given orders to kill all the child soldiers and destroy all evidence that they existed. By using artillery from distance to take them by surprise. Naruto fires his rifle, killing a few of the enemy soldiers before taking cover behind a destroyed tank. A grenade lands next to him. Quickly acting, pick up and lop the grenade back. He soon heard the grenade go off. The Golden Devil leaps out from his cover, firing his rifle again, killing another enemy soldier. He rolls into a ditch. The blonde switches out the magazine for a new one. An enemy soldier jumps into the ditch and hits Naruto in the face with the butt of his rifle. The boy hits the ground. The soldier points and aims his rifle at the child. Naruto rolls over onto his back and throws his knife at the soldier, nailing him in the chest. Naruto quickly gets out of the ditch and dashes towards the parked vehicles, not too far from the barracks for the officers. The blonde fires his rifle once more, but the rifle jams. Tossing the rifle and dives on the ground before it rains hot lead. He crawls the rest of the way there to get out of the way. One of the soldiers grabbed Naruto by his hair. "I found the Golden Devil," yelled the soldier before a knife goes into his throat. Naruto takes the dead soldier's rifle, firing it at the incoming soldiers. He finally makes his way to the vehicles. He turns past a truck when a rifle butt hits him in the face. Shearing pain flares into Naruto's right shoulder. "You're worth a lot of money, boy. I'm going to be rich with your head." Naruto rolls over onto his stomach and gets on his hands and knees. The soldier kicks Naruto in his ribs, forcing the boy to his side. The soldier takes out a machete. "I'm going to make a pelt out of your hair." Naruto's eyes snap open. Everything seemed to slow down as he leaps off the ground and onto the soldier. The soldier wasn't expecting the boy to jump on him, forces him to fall over. Naruto, wasting no time, punched the soldier in the face before he grabs the machete. Raising the blade over his head and swings it down, ending the soldier's life. Something in the Golden Devil snaps as he roars before rushing towards incoming soldiers. Morning came as the fighting ended a few hours ago. The enemy soldiers that attacked last night are searching through the dead bodies of both ally and enemy. Sitting in a tree a mile away from the battle sits Slade, looking through a scope. "You did well last night," says Slade. Looking down at the base of the tree stands Naruto, covered in blood, still holding onto the machete. His eyes are unfocused. Just staring at the camp he once saw as his home. Everyone he knew is dead. He wonders if Jack got out or was he killed. Jumping out of the tree, "Come, we have to leave before we're spotted," said Slade. Before they arrived at the closest airfield, Slade made Naruto to wash up in a river to clean all the blood off. It took several hours before they arrived at London, England. There they stayed for 3 days. Slade watched the television with how the Liberian Civil War ended and peace talks came to the end. His last target was a general that didn't want the fighting to end, but Slade didn't care if the war continued or not. So long as he got paid. As Slade was busy watching the news, Naruto is bathing in a bathtub for the very first time with hot water. He never bathed with hot water before. It was always in a river, even when his mother was alive it was always a river. He rises out of the water and stares into the mirror. Never noticing that he was gaining scars from his fights. A stab wound to the ribs, bullet wound in his right shoulder, shrapnel metal from a grenade in his left thigh, and other wounds that became scars. So much pain and fighting. Slade changed to a different news station that are covering Superman, ending a fight with a General Zod from Superman's homeworld, Krypton. Interesting. If these heroes keep going on like this, then I might have to make hit out on them, says Slade. Then Slade's cell phone rings. He picks it up and answers the call. Slade here. Yes, Wintergreen, I know that. Yes, I plan to train the boy in Alaska for several months on survival in the cold winter. Give the boy time off. He needs to be ready for when he wishes for his revenge. Just have the jet ready when we arrive at the airport. Slade ends the call as Naruto walks out of the bathroom. Took you long enough. Says Slade. Alaska. A week later Naruto is marching through knee-high snow. It was only a few days ago when Slade left Naruto in Alaska. He was left with only a backpack filled with rations only for 5 days of food and water, a heavy winter coat, a map, a compose, and a knife. It was simple, the map is marked with a location that Slade will be waiting for him to arrive at the desired location. Normally Slade would have given Naruto a time limit, but he wanted to see how long it would take the boy to arrive at the desired location. The snow silently falls from the gray bleak skies above. With each breath shows the coldness that's in the air. With each footstep the snow underneath his feet makes a soft crunch. Naruto has been walking through the snow for the 3 hours since the sun rose over the mountains. Head to the west and a helicopter will be waiting for me. Says Naruto. The wind changes directions as he steps on a twig. 3 miles away a wolf's head shoots up. The beast sniffs the air. The wolf then howls into the sky. Naruto stops to listen the wolf howl. Then more howls are heard throughout the forest. Not wanting to stay anymore, Naruto moves on. The wolves move swiftly and with a purpose. Moving through the snow as fast as Naruto can hear runs across an elk. Hearing footsteps through the snow Naruto dives into a snowbank. Slowly peeking out Naruto sees 10 wolves circle the elk. The elk stands its ground showing no fear to the wolves. The wolves back off from the elk. Holding his breath, Naruto watches and waits to see what will happen. The wolves leave the elk be and run off. Releasing his breath Naruto waits for a few minutes before he west. For a few hours Naruto walked through the snow looking over his shoulder every now and then. The boy knows that the wolves are back and are stalking him. He remembers how he stalked enemy soldiers back in Africa. By staying out of eyesight he followed them for days till they came to a camp. Watching the prey for a chance to make a quick death without wasting energy. Naruto came to a stop. In front of him is a cabin in the middle of nowhere. He wonders if a hunter stayed there. Seeing it as shelter for the night and a chance to sleep without fear of the wolves attacking. He walks over to the front door. Looking over his shoulder he sees one of the wolves stare at him. This wolf is bigger than the others showing that it's the alpha. Going inside he closes and locks the door. Looking around the room with the remaining sunlight shines through the windows. Inside the cabin is small for 1 maybe 2 hunters to stay at a time. There is an old wood stove, an open fire pit for warming the cabin at night, a bed, and a gun rack. On the gun rack is a hunting rifle. Making his way over to the gun rack the blonde picks up the rifle and can tell that it hasn't been cleaned in a long time. Before night fully came the fire pit was lit to give light and warm the cabin up. While eating the last of his rations, Naruto takes the rifle apart and cleans it. He looks at how many bullets are left which is only 5. Howls can be heard from outside. Knowing that the wolves are still out there are most likely circling the cabin Naruto stays alert. During the night one of the wolves leaps through one of the windows. Staying awake Naruto quickly attacked the wolf with his knife. The wolf pins Naruto to the floor snapping at the blonde. The knife passed through the wolf's ribs and goes into one of its organ, most likely a lung. The wolf seeing that it'll die tries to rip the boy's throat out. Driving the blade further into the wolf ending its life it falls on top of Naruto. Morning came with Naruto leaving the cabin with the hunting rifle. He spent most of the night cleaning, cooking, and eating the wolf. The other wolves stay a distance away, but are still in eyesight. What seems like hours walking through the snow the blonde stops to rest. Looking over his shoulder, they're still there. The alpha stares at Naruto. Seeing that this prey is stronger than its normal prey knows now that it'll take some time to kill the prey. The Omega from last night proved that. The alpha howls causing the other wolves to run towards Naruto. Naruto hearing the howl along with the sound of the wolves running towards him. He slings the rifle, takes aim and ends one of the wolves. Pulling the bolt which ejects the bullet casing and reloads a new round in the chamber. Firing the rifle once more killing another wolf before he runs. The wolves give into the rush and chases Naruto. While running Naruto ejects the other bullet casing and reloads. Seeing that the trees clear a bit before seeing a canyon fast approaching. Not bothering to slow down or stopping, but continue to run towards the cliff. He leaps over the ledge and lands on the other side. Taking a knee, Naruto aims and fires his rifle killing another wolf. One of the wolves jumped canyon. The blonde didn't have enough time to reload as tackled. Using the rifle to hold the wolf back from ripping his face as Naruto struggles to get free. Taking his knife out, he stabs the wolf in the stomach repeatedly. Pushing the wolf off of him Naruto breaks a run for it. The blonde runs through the snow as fast as he can, but then there is a sharp pain flares through his left leg, forcing the blonde to his knees. Looking down his foot is caught in a bear trap. Taking his hands the blonde pulls the bear trap open. The spikes cut into his hands as he did so. Freeing his leg Naruto can't see the damage. The wound is just right that he'll have a very difficult time walking and with the wolves after him. It'll be even harder. taking off his backpack and rips it by using the ripped pieces to wrap around his injure. Slowly walking through the snow, leaving a trail of blood behind him, making it easier for the wolves to track him. Naruto hates this. This reminds him of the first time he was in Africa. He didn't know what he was doing and almost got killed a few times. The cold sets in, hunger sets in, tiredness sets in, bloodlust sets in. It's not making it any easier. It starts to snow once more. Lost in thought, lost in wondering if he'll live. Naruto stops. The wolves caught up with him. Circling around the blonde as they forced him into their trap. They forced Naruto towards the den. He looks around at them, then he saw it. The alpha once more. The alpha growls at the other wolves. They all leave, just leaving Naruto and the alpha. Naruto takes out his knife and rifle. He knows that he won't get a chance to fire his rifle or the chance to reload. Instead, he'll use it as a club. The alpha slowly stalked towards the boy. Naruto remembers a saying from one of the older soldiers that command the child soldiers he fought alongside of. Every man has to face a beast that will come at them. The only thing one can do is face it head on. Knowing full well there is no way out of this, Naruto makes his last stand. I will face this beast. For it is the only thing that I can do, says Naruto. The alpha stares at Naruto. Knowing that his prey is on its last leg. Knowing that this is the fight that it wants. The alpha and Naruto leaps towards each other. Slade stands in front of a helicopter waiting for Naruto to arrive. He looks at his watch. It's been a week since he left Naruto in the wilderness. The old man knows that the boy could die out there, but he also knows that he could be still alive. Something catches his eye. Naruto walks out of the tree line wearing wolf fur as a coat. "Striking, now your true training begins," said Slade. "Survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest. Every creature alive has to obey that law. No matter if you are man, woman, or child. It is an instinct that drives everything to live. To survive. Humans try to suppress this instinct with logic, with reason. But when it comes down to it, even the most innocent man will do anything to survive. Nothing will beat instincts, nothing at all. The bet. The sound of flesh hitting flesh echoes throughout the empty room. Tied to a chair by ropes and chains sits Naruto. His right eye is swollen, a broken jaw, and a bloody nose. He stares definitely at his torturer, David Kane. David is a high-ranking member of the League of Assassins. You may be wondering why Naruto is in Tibet. Why he is being beaten by David. Why he is captured by the League of Assassins. Slade ordered Naruto to find and infiltrate the League of Assassins, get captured and survive torture. When Naruto first arrived in Tibet, he spent a few days looking for the best places to find signs that the League of Assassins was even there. Fighting in Liberia for 2 years, you learn to look and notice signs. Knowing what an Eid looks like, what a mine looks like, knowing when you're walking into a trap. Just looking around can't save your life. After finding a simple-looking village, the blonde soon discovered that it was just a simple village. The village itself raises new members for the League of Assassins. Of course, with Naruto never being in this village, was quickly captured and brought to David Kane. With a few chose words about Kane's manhood could him to beat Naruto to what he looks like. "Where did you come from?" demanded David. Naruto simply spit in David's face. Kane punched Naruto in the face once more. Naruto spit some blood out of his mouth. "Talk," yelled David. "That's enough, Mr. Kane." The man walks out of the shadows as if he was one with them. Naruto knows who this man is. The demon's head, the master, Raz Al Ghul. Just by looking at how he walks, how he carries himself, he is a man that has lived more than a normal should have. Behind him is the most beautiful woman has even seen. She is none other than Talia Al Ghul, daughter to Raz Al Ghul. Naruto curses his growing hormones for being taken by her beauty as his cheeks gain a cherry red color to them. Talia smirks at Naruto's reddened cheeks. "He won't talk no matter how much I beat him or how hard. No name, no identifications, no birth date, nothing," says a frustrated Kane. Raz stares into the boy's eyes. Trying to read him. Trying to figure him out. As Raz was doing this, Naruto was doing the same to Raz. Then the blonde does what no one was expecting the boy to do. Spit in Raz's face. "If you're going to saw something, then say it," Naruto says for the first time since he was captured. Shocked that someone would disrespect their leader. Kane takes out his knife. "Stop," says Raz as he wipes the spit off his face. "Tell me, how did you find this place, Golden Devil?" asked Raz. Kane just stares at the boy. The assassin heard of the Golden Devil during the Liberian Civil War. There were only rumors about the Golden Devil. No one knew what country he was from, why he was there, or where he got his training. To think that this 10-year-old in front of him is the Golden Devil. Talia was in the same boat as David. She heard of the name the Golden Devil. She heard from the assassins that went to Liberia to kill him, but they never returned. "It's been 2 years since I'd last heard that name. I figured everyone thought I was dead after the new government raided out camp. To leave no evidence that they used us to win their war," explained Naruto. I have heard of that raid. I sent one of my most trusted assassins to look at the dead. It seems more than a few managed to escape. Tell me, how did you find us? Beaststruck. Ah, I see now. I heard he hasn't been taking many contracts as of late. You must be his apprentice. Why? My mother. Enough said. Drop it. Growled Naruto. Roz raises an eyebrow at that. He can hear the hate in his voice. The look in his eyes are calling for blood. The boy's mother must have been killed right in front of him. And the boy knows who his killer is. Roz came to the conclusion that the Golden Devil wants revenge. Roz knows the thirst of revenge quite well. Why did District send you here? He's training you. Why send you here? Asked Roz. So I can be tortured. He wanted me to learn first-hand experience to being captured and tortured for information, answered back Naruto. As a reward for not just finding us, but also resist Mr. Kane's torture. Talia, I want you to watch over the boy till I have his reward ready, says Roz. Yes, father. Said Talia. Naruto was led out of the chair he was tied and chained to. His wounds were cleaned and bandaged. Throughout the whole time he blushed because Talia was close to him. Talia could see his blush. I too have lost my mother, Talia says, grabbing Naruto's attention away from her beauty. How? My father met my mother during Woodstock back in the 60s. I only knew her for a few years before she overdosed on the drugs that she was taking, explained Talia. Why are you telling me this? Your mother died taking drugs. She died doing something stupid. My mother on the other hand was killed because of me. Naruto didn't let Talia say anything before he runs off. Talia looked a little shocked that someone talked to her like that. Being the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, she was met with respect by those in the League of Assassins. Then she snapped out of it. She looks down at her hands. The daughter of the demon knows the pain of lose. The pain in Naruto's eyes are there clear as day. Sometime later Raz is sitting in dining hall in his private quarters. Naruto was brought to the dining hall after Talia found him. Sitting at the table the demon looks over to his daughter and the young boy. He can tell something happened between them as they aren't looking at one another. Tell me Naruto, if you could change anything in the world, what would it be? Asked Raz. Change anything in the world. Naruto opens his mouth to say bring his mother back, but stops, I don't know. All I know is fighting. District sent me to fight in Liberia to learn more about how harsh the world really is, answered back Naruto. A very good answer if I say so myself. Naruto looks at Raz strangely, someone of your age gave a very good answer. You don't know much of the world, yet you understand that is it harsh. You understand more than most of the world would. Most would answer with wanting for world peace or ending world hunger, which are all noble actions, but one can do so much. You know that world peace can only be brought through the death of others. Hunger can only end when food is taken from others. Which others will fight back in turn start up a war. Both go hand in hand. Explained Raz. Naruto knows that. Fighting in Liberia there were times food was hard to find. Any food was found after a battle that was on the dead or was caught by the wild animals. The world is truly harsh. Survive of the fittest to its core. What would you do? What would I do? I try to save the world just like anyone else, but in a different way. You see, I lead the League of Assassins to bring the world in a new age where there can be peace. Yes, some of the ways we do it bring the death of others, but all roads are paved with good indentations. Many would say the world is black and white, but the world is full of gray. Those that seen both sides will know that all too well. Raz finishes the food is brought out. Naruto saw all the different type of food is set in front of him. But out of all the different food that was placed down, he saw one that brought back happy memories. Ramen. It was ramen. He hasn't had ramen since he was little. Remembering a time where his mother would make it for him. To cheer him up when he was sad. Raz saw this. He'd only seen that when someone had a food that they didn't have for a very long time. That hold great value to them. Seeing this Raz understands that Naruto lived a life that no child should have lived. Yes, his villages train child to become assassins, but they go only so far. Taking hold of the bowl of ramen. Naruto quickly devours it. He places the bowl down, it's not the same says Naruto in a depressing manner. What's not the same? Asked Raz. The ramen. It's not the same as mom's. Ah, now Raz now knows why Naruto looked at the ramen like he did. The boy's mother made it for him when he was younger. He remembers a time when his mother used to make his favorite meal. Then as quickly as his memories came they went when one of the servants came over to the demon and whispers into his ear. Send her in. Orders Raz. The left and soon came back with a woman. The woman has black hair that sits on her shoulders, a slighter body that shows her hard work to making it into what it is today. She is none other than Sandra Wusen, otherwise known as Lady Shiva. Shiva walks over and sits down at the table. What have you order of me, master? Asks Shiva. This boy here has down the same thing that you have down, Lady Shiva. He on his own found the League of Assassins. As a reward I want you to train him in martial arts," stated Roz. Shiva looks the boy over. She quickly can tell that the boy had some training, but for how much she does not know. "Very well, I'll train the boy. May I ask if the boy has any training beforehand?" "Yes, he fought in the Liberian Civil War. You may have heard of his name, the Golden Devil." Shiva was shocked was an understatement. She remembers taking a contract to hunt and kill the Golden Devil, but the war ended before she could kill him. She always thought that the Golden Devil was a man, not a boy. "Eastrick has also taken him as an apprentice," Talia chimed in. "I didn't know that Eastrick was looking for an apprentice. When do you want me to start the boy's training?" asked Shiva. "Tomorrow. You just arrived not too long ago. Rest," said Roz. The evening quickly came. Talia showed Naruto where he'll be sleeping for the night. During dinner she thought long and hard about how to talk to Naruto. She can tell that Naruto is holding all his emotions inside like a bottle. Knowing full well that if he doesn't let them out, then he'll just explode. "Naruto," grabbing his attention, "earlier when I said that I lost my mother the same as yours. I meant to say that I know what you're going through. The pain, the lost, the hurt. I can see the pain in your eyes. When was the last time you cried?" asks Talai before she hugs Naruto. Naruto is lost for words. The last time someone ever hugged him was when his mother did. He nearly forgot what it felt like. The warmth and the sense of security. The times when he was scared his mother would whispering into his ear telling him that everything will be alright. That everything will be fine. And just like that, the dam broke. Naruto started to weep. The lose of his mother, all the lives he'd taken, and the lose of his comrades in the small boy unit. Everything just came rushing out from all the buildup over the years. Talia just holds Naruto and he cries in her arms. In the morning Lady Shiva took Naruto with her for training. Roz and Talia watched as they left. Talia was saddened that Naruto had to leave. After he finished crying they talked and learned a lot about each other. "Talia, I have found my heir," said Roz as stares at Naruto. "But what about my beloved?" asked Talia. "That man would make a perfect heir, but he will not make the hard decisions that need to be made. He will not be sweet to our thinking. He will not take a life. But young Naruto has already taken a life, more than once. He has seen the world for what it truly is. And for that he is already walking down the path for the better. He shall be my heir," stated Roz. "But father, what if he doesn't?" "Talia, the Lazarus pits are taking longer for them to revive me. It will be only a matter of time before they stop. Death is coming for me. I can already feel it. He will be the heir or he will help with making the heir." And with that Roz heads back to his chambers. Talia just stands there thinking over what her father has said. She understood what he meant that if Naruto doesn't become the demon, then she is to have a child with him. Talia stands at a standstill. To choose between Batman, the man she loves, but who won't make the world a better place by doing the dirty work. Or Naruto, someone who she just met but will do what will be needed done. Manchuria, China. It has been a few weeks since Lady Shiva took Naruto with her for training. They left Tibet on foot and traveled to Manchuria, China. During their travels Shiva learned that Naruto is a kinetic learner. Learning through his body. With years of fighting already learned through instincts. Shiva spent most of the time training Naruto to think before acting in a fight. Instincts that were forged in war are now being forced to hold back. They arrived at a dojo. Which is strange since they are in China and the dojo is clearly Japanese. The place looked like it hasn't been taken care for some time. Vines have overgrown the walls that surround the dojo and the trees haven't been trimmed back. "Why are we here?" Naruto asks Shiva. "Here you learn from one of the greatest martial arts in the world. But I thought you were going to train me." "I am, but O-sensei can train you to your fullest," said Shiva. As they walk through the front gate Naruto can hear what sounds like flesh hitting wood. They continue to walk through the courtyard passing a koi fish pond. They came upon a training area with an old man sitting on the ground sipping some tea watching a young boy punching a wooden pole with thick ropes wrapped around it. "Ah, Sandra, what brings you here?" says the old man as he looks at Shiva and Naruto. "I have brought you a student." "I can see that, but why? You should be able to train him." "Because I believe you can give him the training that he needs." The old man looks at Naruto. In all his years of training young pupils he can remember all of them. He remembers them all like they are his children in a sense. He remembers one of his old students returning with a student of his own that had Naruto's hair color and style. "What's your name?" "What's yours?" Smiling, "You may call me O-sensei," said O-sensei. "O-sensei," called out the boy, "when will you teach me the advanced forms?" "When you stop overthinking everything, Sasuke." "Naruto, why don't you go and punch the other wooden pole?" said O-sensei. Shrugging his shoulders Naruto walks over to the other wooden pole. He punched it which his fist breaks through the thick ropes and into the wood. Sasuke saw this and punched his wooden pole, trying to do the same thing. Natural super strength. Where did he come from? Ask O-sensei. I don't know, just that Master Roz called for me to head back to Tibet. I didn't know what, but when I'd arrived there Naruto was there. He found where the League of Assassins were located, and as praise for finding them, I am to train the boy, said Shiva. Rubbing his chin, the boy reminds of someone I met years ago. Stay for a few weeks and I'll help you train him. Afterward head to Akigahara, for that is where Jiraiya is located. Shiva pitches the bridge between her eyes, sigh. Do I have to see that pervert? Shiva regrets asking. O-sensei just laughs at Shiva's pain. He knows about Jiraiya's perverseness can drive any woman with the urge to kill him. O-sensei trained Naruto to the best of his ability. The old man took pride in that Naruto is a difficult student to train. Unlike Sasuke, who can understand and learn quickly, Naruto takes time to learn the basics. Shiva told him how Naruto fought in the Liberia Civil War and took lives before. Instead of breaking down to rebuild Naruto, O-sensei just built on top of what Naruto already knew. During the weeks that Naruto trained with O-sensei, he also became friends with Sasuke. He learned that his family sent him to O-sensei to learn martial arts so that he can become a police officer. With Naruto's natural super strength and Sasuke learning speed, they became rivals to best one another. Akigahara. Shiva leads Naruto through Akigahara, making sure that the boy stay close to her. The forest has many names like the Sea of Trees, or its more famous name, the Suicide Forest. There are many myths and legends about the forest, like how the spirits of those who committed suicide never leave the forest. With that being said, why in the world would Jiraiya be here of all places? I don't like this place. It feels like I'm being watched, said Naruto as he clings to Shiva's coat. Shiva agrees with Naruto. Ever since they stepped foot into the forest it felt as someone or something is watching them. She heard of the rumors about the spirits that haunt Akigahara. The spirits try and cause those who wander deeper and commit suicide. Shiva stops walking. The deadly assassin narrow her eyes at the trees. She focuses, staring at the trees with killer intent. You can come out now, demands Shiva. Ah, you found me. A voice echoes through the forest. After I filter the sense of dread I can feel the stares of a pervert. Come out, Jiraiya. Shiva demands once more. Stepping out from behind a tree is a man with spiky white hair and a long low ponytail. He is wearing a headband with the Japanese characters for oil. What brings you here to my lovely little forest, Sandra? Asks Jiraiya. I'm on the job. Call me Shiva, Shiva says with venom in her voice. O-sensei told me to come here. Why would he do that? Jiraiya asks with a raised eyebrow. Because of him, Shiva pushed Naruto in front of her like a shield. O-sensei said that you brought a student that reminds him of this boy. Jiraiya kneels down to get a better look at Naruto. He hums as he takes in the boy's features better. Seeing the blonde spiky hair and the blue eyes cause his eyes to widen. He knew only one person that had that hair and eyes. Where did you find him? Jiraiya says with a sense of dread. Shiva told him how she was called to Tibet by Roz. There she learned that Naruto found the location where the League of Assassins is located, and as a reward, she is to train Naruto for a short while. Jiraiya just stands there staring at Naruto. He can't believe it. It's been 10 years since he'd last seen someone that looked like this. He asks the question that's been on his mind. Is your father Minato Namikaze? Asked Jiraiya. I don't know. I never met my father. My mom said that he died 10 months before I was born. Thinking about Minato. He knows that Minato would never just up and leave someone that would be carrying his child. And with Naruto saying that he died before he was even born shows that Minato is dead. For all these years he hoped and prayed that somewhere Minato was alive. Happily married and has a few kids of his own. Even though Minato wasn't even his own, he'd still seen him as his own son. It breaks his heart that his student and pseudo-son is dead. Jiraiya sighs at his depression. What of your mother? As soon he asked that Naruto lower his head. She's dead, mutters Naruto. Kicking himself for asking that stupid question. Where have you been for the last 10 years? Shiva went and told the Toad Sage what she learned about Naruto. From how he and his mother had to hide from being caught and killed, from Slade taking Naruto in and training the boy, to his time fighting in the Liberian Civil War and finding the League of Assassins and training with O-sensei for a few weeks. And because Sensei remembers the time when I brought Minato with me to meet him. He sent you to me. Jiraiya looks at Naruto once more. Oh, I can see Minato at him alright. I was afraid that the boy would be a virgin for the rest of his life. Any woman that hit on him just went right over his head, it was almost sickening. Explained Jiraiya. Then a sense of dread washed over him. He pales to an unhealthy shade of white, he starts to sweat, he starts to hyperventilate. Jumping over to Shiva and grab her by the shoulders. I'm fucked. You're fucked. He isn't fucked. Screamed a panicking Jiraiya. Shoving Jiraiya away. What are you talking about? Demands Shiva. Minato's mother. Screamed Jiraiya. She needs to know, but she'll kill me. She'll think that I corrupted Minato and caused him to have a child. I'm too young to die. "Oh, spirit of Akigahara protect me," screams the man while on his hands and knees. For whatever strange reason there was an eerie no. That could everyone to jump back. Giving up and knowing full well that his death is going to happen. The Toad Sage takes out a letter and gives it to Naruto. "This is my will. You will have everything that I own from my money to my books. Come. I march to my death." Seeing nothing better to do, Shiva and Naruto follow Jiraiya. Okinawa, Japan. The sun is out. The weather is hot. Okinawa is known for staying warm all year long. Salt in the air from the warm breeze from the sea. All three of them stand in front of a small clinic. "Why are we in front of this clinic?" asks Shiva. "This is where Naruto's grandmother lives and this is where I die. Let's get this over with so I can enjoy the afterlife," said Jiraiya as he walks inside the clinic. Both Shiva and Naruto follow Jiraiya inside. A woman is standing behind the front desk looking through several files. She has short black hair and wearing a nurse outfit. The bell from the front door grabs her attention. Welcomes them with a bright smile. "Hello and welcome to Senju Clinic." Once she saw who walked in lose her smile. "Jiraiya, what are you doing here? If Tsunade-sama learns that you're here she'll kill you." Jiraiya. "Calm down, Shizune. Tsunade is going to kill me anyway once she learns what I'd learned only a few days ago. Go call her," said Jiraiya. Shizune just sighs before heading to the back. "Do I want to know what you did?" asks Shiva. "Let's just say Tsunade blames me for Minato's death is an understatement." "You damn right it is," says a woman as she storms into the room and punches Jiraiya in the face, sending him through the wall. Naruto gets a better look at the woman. He can see that she has blonde hair and two ponytails that run down her back, a purple diamond on her forehead, and honey brown eyes, along with a large chest. Raising an eyebrow, Naruto turns his head to look at Shiva's chest. Noticing that her chest is quite large too. "What are you doing here? The last time I told you that the next time I see you, you would be dead. Why are you here?" demanded Tsunade. Moaning as Jiraiya walks through the hole in the wall. "I found someone you should see." "Boo. That boy right there is Minato's son," said the Toad Sage. Tsunade turned her head and looked at Naruto. She immediately saw the same shade of blonde that Minato had and his eye color, but the shape of his face and eyes aren't his, most likely from the mother. But there is one thing that Tsunade knew that no one else knew, beside herself and Minato himself knew. "That's not Minato's son," Tsunade outright said. The room became dead quiet. Naruto just left the clinic. Shiva just stared at Tsunade before going after Naruto. Training Naruto for a few months had made Shiva care for the boy. "What do you mean he isn't Minato's son?" demanded Jiraiya. "That's his son. The hair and eyes are the same as Minato's." "That boy can't be Minato's son because Minato couldn't have children. He was born without the ability to have children of his own. That's why Minato never married," explained Tsunade. How come I was never told of this? How come I'm just learning it now?" demanded Jiraiya. "Because Minato didn't want anyone to know. Now get out." "No. Naruto is Minato's son. O-sensei believed that he is Minato's son. And you know how O-sensei is about these things. Do a blood test." Tsunade just stares at Jiraiya and just says, "Why should I?" Jiraiya not backing down, "Because he is your grandson. If you truly believe he isn't your grandson, then take a blood test. Prove me wrong," said Jiraiya. After Naruto ran from the clinic he found a small dock. He stares out onto the ocean lost in thought. Once Jiraiya said that he still have someone who he could call family was still alive. The former Golden Devil jumped at the chance right away, but after learning that Tsunade said that he isn't his father's son made the boy run away. The chance to finally to have a family is gone. The chance to gain what he lost that day his mother was killed was gone. Naruto says Shiva was she walks behind him. "What is it, Master Shiva? I've came to see if you're alright." "How can I be alright?" yelled Naruto. I thought that I had a family once." Tears flow down Naruto's cheeks. Shiva does the only thing that she can think of and hugs the crying boy. Seeing him cry reminds her of her child. The one she gave to Cain. She never got a chance to raise her daughter. A chance to be a mother. "It'll be alright. It'll be alright," gently says Shiva. This is the third time that Naruto has been hugged. First his mother, then Talia, and now Shiva. "Naruto, let's go back to the clinic. Before you say anything, let's talk this out with Tsunade first. To see if there was some misunderstanding, okay?" "Oh okay." They go back to the clinic. When they got there Tsunade apologized to Naruto and took some of his blood. Tsunade had some of Minato's old blood before he died to be used for the blood test. As they waited for the blood test to finish Tsunade learned about Naruto. What he went through, the battles, the training, and the blood that covers his hands. To say that Tsunade was shocked was an understatement. Shizune hugged Naruto for his pain. Finally the blood test ended. Looking over the paperwork Tsunade looks up at Naruto. "You are my grandson, but how?" asks Tsunade. "I believe I can answer that," says Slade as he walks through the door. One bad day. One bad day. Just one bad day is all it can take to break someone. To ruin them forever. Sometimes that forces us to push forward. It could be as simple as waking up on the wrong side of the bed, stubbing your toe on a chair, forgetting your keys, losing your job, your wife dying, or falling in a vat of acid. All it takes is one bad day. Taiwan. The Lockheed Martin the 100th to 130J Super Hercules is sitting on an airstrip in one of the many Taiwan airports. Checking through his equipment. Picking up an M1911, pull the slide back and release it. Naruto just stares at the pistol to remembers what has happened in the last 2 years. It's been 2 years since Naruto has learned that he has a grandmother. He visits every now and then. Wintergreen is the one that makes Naruto to spend time with her. It was hard at first learning and getting to know Tsunade, as she can be difficult at times. She and Slade don't see eye to eye with how the mercenary is training Naruto. Tsunade understands that Naruto wants revenge for who killed Naruto's parents. She wants them to pay, but not at the cost that Naruto is paying. She's seen the many scars that Naruto has all over his body. Seeing that Naruto needs to learn more than just skills that are meant to take life. Taught Naruto skills to save lives. And actually Slade agrees with her. Knowing how to fully treat a wound, then just slapping bandages around is better than death. And with Tsunade being one of the greatest doctors in the world doesn't hurt as well. During his training and visits to Tsunade, Naruto met and learned about her assistant and former apprentice Shizune Kato and her current apprentice Akira Haruno. And then there is Jiraiya. While Jiraiya taught Naruto stealth and spy work, he tried to, in Tsunade's words, corrupt her sweet grandson with his perverted ways. "Young master," says Wintergreen grabbing the blonde's attention, "finish getting ready. Master Slade wants you to be ready in 5 minutes," said Wintergreen. Wintergreen has always looked after Naruto. While Slade taught Naruto combat skills, Wintergreen made sure that Naruto was educated with the best education that money could buy. Learning from the basic of what children his age should know to high school level of education. Between the education of Tsunade and Wintergreen, Naruto has some of the best education that anyone could have. Naruto put his M1911 in his hostler and picks up a combat knife. Naruto is ready for his mission. He walks down the ramp towards both Wintergreen and Slade. "Ah, you are ready." The mission is simple. An island south of Taiwan has gone dark. The island is known for passing ships into the South China Sea. Gato Shipping Company is known throughout the world as one of the biggest shipping companies. Rumor has it that the company has occupied this island. Gato Shipping Company is run by Gato and his 2 lieutenants Ori and Waraji. What most people don't know that Gato runs a large business in the black market. Smuggling, drug trafficking, human trafficking, you name it. The islanders had enough and managed to get enough money for our service, explained Slade. What is the mission? Simple, kill Gato and his 2 lieutenants Ori and Waraji. Kill any hired henchmen that don't leave after their deaths. Equipment. Only your M1911 and your combat knife. If you need other weapons, equipment and items you'll have you pick up on your own. So in other words a POS Naruto stated, what about entry and extraction? You'll be dropped of 10 miles out from shore. Wintergreen and I will be circling the island every 12 hours. You have 72 hours to complete your mission before I head in and end everything. After you make to the shore the client by the name of Tazuna will be waiting for you. Wintergreen quickly chime in. Oh. The Hercules flies over the ocean, making an approach towards an island just south of Taiwan. The cargo door opens up as the plane gets closer to the waters below. Naruto puts his M1911 in a plastic bag before placing it in the back pouch on his belt. The overhead light becomes red, then green. Without a second thought the blonde jumps out of the plane and into the waters below. Naruto breaks through the surface. He looks up at the moon then to the island. Naruto breaths into heavily and breaths out heavily, in and out, in and out. He does this before taking one large breath and dives under the water. 10 miles later Naruto rises out of the water as he makes his way to the shore. Naruto swam 10 miles under the water without having to resurface for air. It should be impossible for Naruto to swim that distance without air, but as of lately his body has been changing. First it was his healing. Fighting in Liberia gaining wounds that should have killed him several times over, but yet they healed. Then came his increased strength to superhuman levels, increased stamina, increased endurance, and dexterity. He is natural growing stronger than a normal human, but that's just his mother's side finally coming out. The fear to why he was hunted down. A thick mist rolls in from the tree line. Naruto looks at this with a raised eyebrow. Mist doesn't come from trees, only from the water. He quickly takes out his pistol and knife. This isn't normal mist. A chuckle echoes through the mist. So this is who Haku sensed approaching. Just a child. Says the voice through the mist. Naruto aims in the mist with his knife close to his chest. It is a basic stance that Wintergreen taught him to wield both a knife and pistol at once. Take an enemy from afar and then take them up close. The basic to CQC. Who's there? demands Naruto, this mist isn't from the ocean. Are you the one making it? Oh, you figured it out. Do you know the 8 points of death? The larynx, spine, lungs, jugular, subclavicle veins, kidneys, heart, liver. I know all about the 8 points of instant death. After all, I used to use them to end anyone that was in my way. The trained killer. So young. Let's see how skilled you are. The sound of something flying through the air reaches Naruto's ears. Quickly hitting to the deck as a large metal object flies over him and become embedded in a tree. Looking up he can see that it is a large sword. A man lands on the large blade. His chest is bare with only a leather strip going across it to carry the large sword. His hands are wrapped up to his elbows with bandages and the bottom half of his face is covered with bandages as well. He has a headband with a metal plate that is tied sideways. Naruto stares at the headband. He'd seen that symbol before. Then his eyes widen as he remembers that symbol. You're part of the League of Assassins? Asked Naruto. I was. I am Zabuza Mamachi, Demon of the Mist. I was part of the Japan branch before we had a breach and everything was whitewash. I was one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. The most feared assassins that ever lived and the League of Assassins turned their back on us. But enough talk. Yelled Zabuza. The Demon of the Mist jumps off of his sword grabbing as he does so and pulls the blade out. He lands on the ground and disappears into the mist. Naruto keeps his cool. He looks around for anything. Listening for anything. Feeling the airflow change right behind him and ducks as the blade swings over his body. Turning around he fires a round off at Zabuza. Using his strength to bring the heavy sword in front of his body blocking the bullet was easy for the swordsman. He punched Naruto in the jaw, then swings his sword once more. The blonde's balance lose and with the sword coming closer to him. He quickly right himself kicking the flat part of the sword around and fires another round at Zabuza. The swordsman uses his years of experience to help dodge the bullet. Tired of the gun the swordsman swings his sword cutting the gun's barrel off. Seeing as the gun became useless throws it at the Demon of the Mist. Zabuza hits the gun a round of the way but Naruto comes in with his knife. Swinging both of their blade at one another. Sparks fly at metal meets metal. You're good. You have many years of fighting for someone so young. Most likely a former child soldier. What war did you fight in? Asks Zabuza. The Liberian Civil War. I was known as the Golden Devil. Not fazed by that. Oh, so you are that Golden Devil. I heard of you. I always wonder what happened to you after the war ended. Tell me, how did they brainwash you to fight? They didn't. I joined the fighting to learn. To learn? For what? For revenge. Shouted Naruto as he pushes the former assassin away. The battle became vicious and bloody. Neither one backing down or showing remorse to one another. Naruto noticed that his knife is starting to crack. Zabuza's swords weighed in strength behind each swing. Seeing how he'll lose his last weapon and will be unarmed for the rest of the fight. Forced to flee. Kicking sand up into Zabuza's eyes and runs for the tree line. Zabuza swings his sword a few times before stabbing the ground with it. He rubs his eyes to try to get the sand out the best he can. He felt someone appear behind him. Haku, is that you? Asked Zabuza. Yes, Zabuza-sama. What should we do? Asked Haku. Rubbing his eyes some more, nothing. My wounds aren't that bad, just the sand in my eyes are. We'll fight again soon, I know that for sure. Says Zabuza. Naruto runs through the forest as fast as he can. The blonde stops when he noticed that he wasn't being followed. He looks down at his knife as the blade finally breaks. Tossing the knife over his shoulder. Great. I arrive at the island and I get into a fight and lose all my weapons. I don't know where my informant is located. Fuber. Growled Naruto. Pain surges through his body as his adrenal runs out. Dropping to his knees as the pain runs through his body. The cuts on his body from Zabuza's sword are deep and large, making it so that he is losing a large amount of blood. His vision blurs as the world grows dark. A few hours later Naruto wakes up in a bed. The sunlight hurting his eyes for a bit. He rolls over out of the sunlight. The door opens up as a woman walks into the room with a bowl of water and fresh bandages. Oh, you're awake, says the woman as she places the bowl on the nightstand. My name is Tsunami. My father found you wounded near the beach. What were you doing out there? Don't you know it is dangerous? I did, says Naruto as he sits up. I was hired to end Geto. So I was right. You were the one sent here to kill Geto and his men, says an old man as he walks into the room. My name is Tazuna and I am the client that has hired you. Why would they send a child to kill? Says a horrified Tsunami. How could they do that to child? Former child soldier, answered Naruto. I may not like it, Tsunami glares at her father. Okay, I don't like it. But we paid a lot of money for the mercenaries to come and kill Geto. Can you do it? Yes, but when I arrived I was attacked by Zabuza Mamachi and lost all my weapons. I most likely will have to raid one of Geto's weapon caches. Geto keeps most of his supplies and shipments at the docks. If you go there you might want to hide your hair because no one of this island have blonde hair. And be careful because there are a lot of guards there at the docks, explained Tazuna. Thanks for the information, says Naruto as he gets out of bed. Nope. Says Tsunami as she forces Naruto back on the bed, you still have injuries, young man. Tsunami may not like that a former child soldier or not is going to go and kill Gato and possible everyone he'd hired, but she wasn't about to let someone who is injured to fight. She removed Naruto's bandages to see that most of his wounds have healed. How did your wounds heal so fast? Asked Tsunami. I heal fast. Do you have a knife that I can use? One that you don't mind not using ever again? Asked Naruto. Why do you need a knife? Tsunami dreaded asking the question. Because I have some hunting to do. And the prey is human. Answered Naruto. A few hours later the sun is slowly setting over the village. Throughout the day Naruto saw what was becoming of the village. Without ship sailing in to drop of goods the village is slowly dying. To make it worse Gato and his men are making it so that the fishermen can't go out to sea and fish to bring in fresh food. Fish is the islanders' main food source. The people of the island could farm the land and grow their own food, but it would take 2 years to make enough food to feed the whole island and plant for the next year's harvest. 2 years the islanders don't have. The blonde is sitting behind a dumpster watching a warehouse for hours now. This is the warehouse that Tazuna talked about. A chain-link fence surrounds the whole warehouse with guards walking around it. 3 cars drove up and park in front of the warehouse. The gate is opened up as men get out of the cars. That's when Naruto spots one of his targets. Zori. He remembers what his target looks like. Zori is light-skinned with bluish-white hair. Lined markings tattoos under his eyes. He is wearing a dark purple hat and a blue jacket with multiple pockets. He is also carrying a katana with a blue hilt on his left hip. Now Naruto's objectives has changed. The first objective is to kill all the guards outside the warehouse silently, cutting off for reinforcements. The second objective gains some type of weapon better than a kitchen knife. The third objective is to kill Zori. And the last and final objective is to destroy the warehouse and anything inside of it. Zori goes inside the warehouse with the men he came with. Naruto silently stalks one of the guards. The guard goes behind several crates to take a piss. Moving like a shadow the blonde comes behind the guard cutting his throat. Lowering the body silently to the ground the blonde takes the guard's rifle. A simple AK-47 along with 2 magazines. There better be better weapons inside. Naruto mumbles. Learning under Slade taught Naruto that the AK-47 is a good rifle, but only to those that are going to die use the rifle. You can treat the rifle like it's a piece of shit and still use it. That's the reason why Slade hates the rifle. A rifle that can be used and never needs to be cleaned aren't used by professionals. Professionals use rifles that cost money. By using a rifle that cost money not only shows that you take your job seriously, but also shows that every kill with that rifle is worth that pretty penny. Explains Slade. Forced to use a rifle that he has grown to hate isn't going to be fun. Just sighing in defeat. Oh, well. Naruto sneaks behind another guard cutting his throat and hides the body. He quietly circles around the warehouse silently killing all the guards. Throughout the whole time he is killing them, he notices that the guards aren't even mercenaries. They're just regular criminals that were hired from the mainland and dressed up as mercenaries. Gato must be tight-fisted. Said Naruto. Seeing that all the guards outside the warehouse are dead. The blonde spent the next 30 minutes blocking any exits to the warehouse, for no one is going to be walking away. Slipping inside and barring the way he came. Naruto can see that they have more than just weapons, but isn't going to be bothered by that. He takes his rifle and aims at one of the guards walking around. The time for silence is over. It's time to be loud. Shots fired echoes throughout the entire warehouse. The guards showing that they are true and trained mercenaries just spray and pray. It showed that Gato is really tight-fisted. They couldn't hit Naruto as he runs dodging all the bullets. What are you idiots doing? Yelled Zori, you'll hit the explosives. Naruto fires his rifle at metal canisters with the words flammable on them. Liquid fire sprays out of the canisters dousing a few of the guards. They scream as the liquid fire eats through their flesh. Zori draws his katana charging towards Naruto. A blue aura surrounds him as he disappears in a flash of speed. Lucky the blue aura gives away Zori coming from the left. Rolling between Zori's legs and runs away from the blue-haired swordsman. Get back here. Demanded Zori. Naruto presses back against one of the crates. He takes the magazine out of the rifle and saw 3 bullets are left inside of it. A sword blade cuts through the crates. Naruto rolls under the blade takes out his knife. He swings the blade at Zori who disappears in a flash of blue. Blocking an incoming blade swing, Naruto slides back from Zori. A kid? What's a kid doing here? How are you killing all my men? Demands Zori. The world has seen me as the devil. As the devil I kill those that get in my way. For they are weak and stand no chance. The devil has returned. says Naruto as he leaps towards Zori. Naruto's movements has changed. He went to use the nickname that he earned back in Liberia. The Golden Devil. Well, Jack was called Jack the Ripper for the use of blades to kill him enemies. Naruto played with their minds. For some strange reason the enemies feared Naruto for not dying. A whole squadron shot Naruto full of holes, yet he stood back up and killed everyone with no remorse. That's how he got his name. That's how he became the Golden Devil. Not just for his golden hair, but the difficulty for killing him. Blocking Naruto's strike with his blade, Zori forces Naruto back. His blue aura surrounds him as Zori disappears once more. Naruto somehow follows Zori even with him using that strange ability. Stalking Zori as he went into hiding. What's with this kid? How can he kill without remorse? Questions Zori. The Golden Devil noticed that every time that Zori used that strange ability he becomes slower and slower. Thus making it easier for Naruto to track his prey. He can almost smell his prey. The scent of fear. "Come to the wolf," whispers Naruto. Zori is breathing heavy as he hears footsteps but can't tell which direction they're coming from. Up above Zori, staring at his prey. He slowly and silently crawls down the crate. He places the cold blade to Zori's neck and with a swift motion ended Zori's life. Naruto lands on the floor. He stares at the dead body as his eyes lose the coldness to them. Naruto tossed his rifle to the side and picks up Zori's sword. Looking at the sword better now that it isn't trying to kill him, notices that the sword has magic in it. Naruto doesn't really know that much about magic, that the world has it and he can sense it. What gave Zori his strange ability to move so fast was his sword. Now it became Naruto's. Seeing that everyone is dead, Naruto searching the whole warehouse. The blonde quickly finds out that this was not just a warehouse for weapons, but for other things. Drugs for one. There happened to be files of stolen blueprints from different countries from all around the world. Looking through one of the blueprints, something caught Naruto's eye. It is a blueprint of a Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, but unlike the one that was created in the 60s, that could seat only one pilot. This one could fit a whole team of 12 people. A stealth plane that could go into hostile counties without being seen on radar was something that any government would kill for. Seeing that the blueprint is here shows that someone did steal it but somehow lost it. What a waste for them, but what a gain for Naruto. Acting quickly since Zori most likely had to radio back to Gato. Naruto grabs several duffel bags and fills them full of weapons, blueprints, and equipment. The blonde set explosives all over the warehouse, priming them as he leaves the warehouse, then when the blonde is about a mile away set the charges off. The warehouse went up in flames, but with all the ammo and explosives inside the warehouse, it was like a fireworks show. "Oh. What do you mean I lost the warehouse?" shouted Gato. "Do you have any idea how much money was there?" Gato, a short man that runs one of the largest shipping companies in the world. "And it isn't enough." "And no. It's been 40 minutes since the warehouse at the docks exploded. With weapons of different grades, drugs, and blueprints all located in one location probably wasn't the smartest idea, but Gato is tight-fisted. He hires cheap criminals, then kills them off so he doesn't have to pay them. Tight-fisted indeed. "We still have the slaves," says Waraji. Waraji is of tall stature, wears an eye patch over his right eye, and has brown hair which he parts in three, finishing in an elaborate topknot. He has an intricate tattoo that seemingly stretches across his entire left side and left-right inner thigh, as well as a stitched scar on the left side of his forehead and the left side of his mouth. He wears what seems to be a loose-fitting kimono, albeit not in the traditional manner as the top half of the outfit falls around his waist, leaving his upper body exposed. He also wears bandages wrapped around his waist, simple sandals, and carries a fairly long sword. Luckily the slaves will bring some of the money back, but not all of it. "Waraji, I want you to head to the caves and make sure that the slaves aren't killed or freed. And make sure that the women and girls are virgins. I'll have to double, no triple. I'll triple the price to buy them," ordered Gato. "Maybe the one who killed Zori and blow up the warehouse will come to the caves," says Waraji as he leaves. Oh. Bright and early in the morning, the sun has been up for a few hours. A beautiful young woman walks through the forest just outside of the village. She has long beautiful black hair, large brown eyes, and pale skin clothes like that of snow. She is carrying a basket full of different herbs that she spent the early part of the morning picking. She comes across a sleeping Naruto. The young woman recognizes him when Zabuza was fighting him the other day. Seeing him defenseless while sleeping, slowly walks over to him. She stretches out her hand to rip out Naruto's throat, but at the last second shacks the blonde's shoulder. Naruto slowly opens his eyes up. After Naruto blew up the warehouse, he went into the forest and hid the duffel bags by burying them. After he did that, the blonde decided to rest before falling asleep. "What time is it?" asked Naruto. "It's a few hours after sunrise. Why are you sleeping out here? You'll catch a cold." "I slept in worse places," said Naruto as he sits up and stretches. "Hello, my name is Naruto Uzumaki." I'm Hakiyuki. Naruto looked at the young woman and he can saw that she's beautiful. Naruto starts to wonder and think. He's been running into a lot of beautiful women. The first to come to his mind is Talia, Sandra, Granny Tsunade, Shizune, and even Sakura. He looks at the pink dress that she is wearing and notice that it is clean and look like it was made by a skilled hand. The gears start to move. One of the islanders have dirty clothes. They can't afford something like that right now. Even if they did, they would have most likely have sold it to buy food. What do you have there, if you don't mind me asking? Naruto says, hiding his train of thought. There are several herbs out here that can be used to stop bleeding. I've been picking them for some time just in case something came up. Styptic. I didn't know they grow in this. Naruto paused and thought, menstrual bleeding, you. It's a normal thing. Says a heated Haku. I know that, but still. That's gross. It's bad as listening about the talk. I will stab you if you bring that up, Haku says in a flat tone, while trying to block out the memory of Zabuza teaching her about the bird and the bees. It still is disgusting. Change of subject. Do you need some help? Naruto asks, wanting to change the subject. The blondes still have nightmares from when Tsunade taught about the human body and all of its wonderful glory. Damn granny. Haku was having the same train of thought. Zabuza had her learn medicine practice so they wouldn't have to pay blacklisted doctors. I wouldn't mind the extra hand. Answered Haku as she went looking for more herbs. Naruto helped Haku for the rest of the morning picking herbs. During their time together they talked about themselves without relieving too much about each other. Naruto learned that Haku's mother was killed by her father and then he came at her. That's when she killed her own father in self-defense and was chased after by the rest of the villagers till she was taken in by her master. Haku learned that Naruto lived a similar life like her. Naruto's father being killed before he was born, his mother being killed by the islanders, and him being taken in by his master. It was strange how they both lived similar lives. Tell me, what do you fight for? Asked Haku. What I fight for? Naruto never really thought about what he is fighting for, just to get the strength he needed to avenge his mother's death, nothing more. I don't. You don't? Then why do you need strength? I believe that one can truly become strong when they are a reason to fight for. My reason is for being of use for my master. I never really thought about it. I'm so used to following orders that I don't think about that. I think I'll look into when I have my revenge. After all, everyone will feel empty after they had their revenge. Said Naruto. Naruto isn't a fool. He knows that after he has his revenge he'll have nothing left in his life. So he knows that he'll have to find something. Something to do with his life. A reason. Maybe he'll work as an assassin like Slade or maybe go into the medical field. He doesn't know and that's how Naruto wants it to be. What about you? What if your master is killed? Then what? Asked Naruto. Then I'll just end my own life, Haku answered back without a care for in the world. That's just sad. Wouldn't you want to know more about the world? Or live your own life? No, because there is nothing else. I live to serve for my master. They both just stare at each other. Then in a flash they locked with knives. Naruto with a new combat knife and Haku with a senbon. Looking into each other's eyes. The pain and death. They are like one another. So I was right. You aren't an islander. The way you walk, the way you carry yourself, your clothing, and your accent. Gato hired you, didn't he? I can ask you the same thing. You fought against Zabuza-sama and lived. You were hired by the villagers to kill Gato. I think we shouldn't fight now. It'll only end badly for the both of us. I agree, but I think we should reintroduce ourselves once more as fellow apprentices. I am Hakuyuki, apprentice of Zabuza Mamachi, Demon of the Mist. I am Naruto Uzumaki, apprentice of Slade Wilson Deathstroke the Terminator. It looks like the next time we meet we'll be enemies. Yes, it seems that way. Goodbye for now. Says Haku as she takes off with her basket. Oh. A few hours later Naruto is rushing through the brush. While he was looting the warehouse he found a map marked a location called the caves north of the village. The blonde went to the gear that he hidden to grab a combat vest, along with several grenades and simple handgun, along with a few magazines for it. Naruto quickly came to a stop and drops to the deck. 3 trucks drive by on an old dirt road. He waits for a few moments, then crawls onto the dirt road. Where are you going? Questioned the blonde. A few miles down the dirt road the trucks came to a stop. In front of the trucks is a fallen tree that blocks the pathway. What's with the hold up? Yelled out Waraji. The tree is blocking the way, yelled out someone from the first truck. Again. Clear it. We were supposed to be at the caves 2 hours ago. Shouted Waraji. A week ago a storm came through and wrecked the road to the caves. The storm itself didn't cause that much damage than normal. There has been several trees they had to clear because no one has been to the caves since the storm. While Waraji and his men clear the road Naruto cuts through the forest. 30 minutes later Naruto came to a stop. The tree line ends. Trees have been ripped out of the ground and large boulders lay about giving perfect cover. On the other side is what are known as the caves. Old ruins that are overgrown and falling apart. There are 3 trailers that are sitting on the east side of the ruins with 5 large cages full of people. A young woman staggers out of one of the trailers. 3 guards follows her. The young woman tries to escape but one of the guards throws down his rifle and rushes the woman. He grabs her, slams her into a dumpster full of water. The guard then shoves her head down into the water. The young woman tries to struggle and get fresh air but the guard just holds her down till she stops moving. Seeing that she drowned, the guard unzips her pants and takes them off. The young woman's face regains her healthy skin color from the pale clammy color by being drowned. Black markings appeared about the woman's eyes. She quickly wraps her legs around the guard's neck, pulls him like a spring, then rockets the guard into another before she herself rushes the 2 guards, kicking them back. Then the young woman quickly jumps on the other guard, twisting her body and throws him. The guard hits the ground hard enough that he loses conscious. She then slides on the ground and thrusts her legs up as one of the guards get up. She kicked his rifle up in the air as a round goes off. The young woman bites the guard's ear off. The guard goes into shock, losing any ear. The last remaining guard just stares at the woman as she spits out the ear. Raising her leg up at a high angle, then swinging her leg down onto the guard's balls, crushing them. Naruto, who watched the whole fight, slowly walks over to the young woman holding his knife out. She turns and sees him slowly making his way over to her without showing any sign of ill intent. The blonde gets closer and was about to cut the rope around her wrists when all of a sudden the woman shoves Naruto away. 3 other guards open fire at them. The young surrounds herself with a dark mist that lets her teleport, dodging the flying bullets. She kicks one guard to the guard, wraps her legs around another guard's neck. Using her motion to swing the guard around, firing his rifle at the same time to riddle the last guard full of holes. The first guard stands up as he takes out a knife. The woman lowers her body with her arms out. The blade cuts through the rope, binging her wrists together. She grabs the knife, swings her body, throwing the guard she is hanging off of, and leaps onto the other. She stabs the guard's neck several times before jumping off of him and lands on the previous guard and just savagely stab him in the. 2 more guards came out of a trailer aiming at the woman. She gets up and picks up the body, using him as a meat shield. Takes a grenade, pop the pin and safety. Rushes the guards as they run back into the trailer. The grenade goes off inside the trailer. The guards somehow survived the explosion. The guards open fire onto the woman as she teleports throughout the trailer. The fire started while they were trying to shoot her before one of the guards is kicked into a wall, then the final guard is kicked into a windowsill. Seeing the fire grow out of control, Naruto picks up a rifle and fires at a water tank next to the trailer. The water rains down onto the trailer, putting out the flames. The guard that was kicked into the wall crawls out of the trailer before being shot in the head. The woman walks out of the trailer without her shirt on, showing that she is only wearing boots, a bra, and panties on. She is carrying a sniper rifle and an RPG. She walks over to Naruto and hands him the RPG. The blonde takes it and then looks at her. She has dark green eyes and short brown hair that is also in a short ponytail. He wonders why she is only in her underwear but won't ask. Some people are just strange that way. Another thing that caught his attention is that she is the same age as Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki. Do I get a name? Naruto finally asks. The young woman stares at Naruto for some time. Trying to get into his head. Trying to understand him. Ixij Mulchania, but people call me Quiet, Quiet says in a low voice like she hasn't spoken in some time. Quiet? What kind of name is that? But before Naruto can get an answer, Quiet looks to the tree line. The trucks from before break out of the tree line, kicking up a dust trail. Let's end this, Naruto said before walking towards the trucks. Quiet runs over to the ruins and climbs up, getting into position. Naruto kneels down behind a boulder, waiting for the trucks to get closer and closer. Naruto inhales then exhales before stepping out from behind the boulder. He takes aim and fires the rocket at the first truck. The first truck explodes, the second truck rams into the first exploded truck, and the third truck drives around before a bullet flies through the windshield, killing the driver. The truck then crashes into a large boulder, stopping it dead in its tracks. Naruto just whistles at the damage and destruction that both he and Quiet caused. Mercenaries get out of the second truck in the crashed truck. They open fire upon Naruto. Naruto himself dives to the ground, grabbing a rifle as he did so. Quiet picks off a few before she too takes cover. Naruto rolls onto his stomach, firing at the mercenaries. Waraji stumbles out of the truck that crashed into the large builder, rubbing his head. Kill everyone. Kill them all. I don't care if you kill any of the slaves. We'll just blame it on those who attacked us, ordered Waraji. The grenade is thrown by the other truck. The grenade goes off, causing the truck to explode. Quiet quickly took advantage of the chaos and kills a few more mercenaries. Naruto jumps up and charges the last remaining mercenaries. The blonde kicks a merc in the chest, punched another in the jaw, and unloads a full magazine into another merc. Baraji draw his sword in a single motion to cut Naruto in half. Letting his instincts take over, the blonde leans back, dodging the swing. Taking out his knife in a swift motion to end Baraji in one go, but the old swordsman was faster. The one-eyed swordsman swings his sword, aiming to take the golden devil's arm. Acting quickly, the blonde takes out his sidearm and unload a few rounds at Baraji. Baraji does something strange. He moves right before Naruto squeezes the trigger, but hears as he is still in front of him. Dumbfounded by this, Baraji takes advantage of this with intent of ending this fight. Unfortunately, doesn't get to do that as a bullet goes through his head. Naruto snaps out of it, looks at the dead Baraji, then over at Quiet. "I had him," yelled Naruto. Quiet says nothing. All she does is pull the bolt to her sniper rifle to eject the bullet casting. Shaking his head, the blonde heads back to Quiet, but not before taking Baraji's sword. They freed the other slaves that were in the cages. Naruto learns that the caves are at 2 in 1. The slaves are brought to the island by sea and into actual caves that are hidden by jagged rocks. The slaves then are brought through passages leading to the ruins, where they are held till a buyer wants them. Then finally they are forced to go back through the ruins and passages, and back to the caves where they are shipped out. Most of the slaves are women and children, with a few men thrown in there. And seeing that most lost their homes when they were taken, decided to stay on the island, but won't come out till Gato is gone or dead. And since Naruto aims to kill Gato, it just made it all the better. Oh. The sun rises over the horizon, showing that a new day is starting. Naruto is standing on the same beach that he came when he first arrived. The blonde has a combat vest on and is carrying 2 combat knives. He is waiting. Last night Haku appeared in front of Naruto, telling him that Zabuza has challenged him. That they will fight first thing in the morning where they first met. So here Naruto is waiting for Zabuza. Quiet is in the tree line with her sniper rifle, watching and waiting. After yesterday she followed the blonde, for he was strange. She wanted to learn more about him and understand the boy. The golden devil crossed his arms and waited, but not for long. Zabuza is walking along the beach carrying his large sword across his back. This time Zabuza is wearing a sleeveless shirt with arm warms on his forearms. The older swordsman stops several meters from the blonde. "Good, you came. I didn't know that I was fighting the apprentice of Deathstroke the last time we fought. No wonder you were so skilled. You've been busy the last 2 days," says Zabuza. "Well, what do you expect? I have a job that I must do. Can't be siding around on my ass now, can I?" replied Naruto. No, you can't. So shall we begin?" asks Zabuza as he grabs hold of the hilt to his massive sword and swings it out, crashing into the sand. "Let's," answered back Naruto as he takes hold of his knives and pulls them out, holding them reverse. They rushed each other at breakneck speed. In the middle, as they clashed, a shockwave is forced out, picking up the sand. Sparks fly as metal meets metal. Naruto moves in with one of his knives, but Zabuza raises one of his feet and blocks the knife swing. The swordsman uses the weight of his sword to push the blonde away. Taking advantage and rushes Naruto, Zabuza swings his sword downward with his weight behind the sword swing. Naruto crosses his knives together and blocks the sword swing, but the weight behind it forces the blonde to drop to his knees. Gritting his teeth as he uses his super strength to slowly stand to his feet and push Zabuza back. Zabuza felt the boy pushing back, but he wasn't having none of that. He leans forward, putting more of his weight into his sword. As Naruto and Zabuza struggle with their duel over in the forest, there is another battle wedging. Haku and Quiet stare at each other for the longest time. Quiet stares at Haku. Breaking down the young woman. Trying to figure her out and trying to figure out her fighting style. Haku, on the other hand, is just shocked that Quiet is just in a pair of panties and a bra. "Why are you wearing just a bar and a pair of panties?" Haku finally asked. "Rubbing her throat so that I can use my powers to their fullest." Quiet hated talking. Her powers are that of metahuman. They allow her to teleport and turn invisible for short periods of time, but the trade-off is that she can't talk that much. And when she does, it causes her throat to be in pain. This forces Quiet to speak very little or not at all. To use her powers to their fullest potential, she has to wear very little clothing, i.e. a pair of panties and a bra. "Strange, but everyone has their own," says Haku as she puts on a mask. A mist slowly fills the air as it becomes colder and colder. A mirror made out of ice forms behind Haku. The masked girl steps back into the ice mirror, slowly becoming part of it. As the mist thickens, more ice mirrors form from the cold air. Quiet watches Haku become part of the mirror before disappearing in the image. Black markings appear around Quiet's eyes before she disappears in a black mist. Sparks burst here and there. Metal clashing metal. 2 warriors fighting one another. This is what Zabuza missed. He missed the days where he can enjoy a fight and not have to worry about anything or anyone. The blood rush. The excitement. Zabuza hasn't had a good fight since the Japanese branch of the League of Assassins was whitewash. He knew it was only a matter of time before he is caught and killed. He understands that his life is going to end in some form or another. Being an assassin meant one thing, but he can still choose when his life ends. And if it means dying against an opponent that is equal to him. And what better opponent than the apprentice of Deathstroke? The same thoughts are going through Naruto's mind. Choosing to be an assassin meant you'll die very easily. An assassin can only go so far before death comes for them. It is only a matter of time before even he has to face death. Naruto has already made up his mind and will take on the full responsibility of his actions. This is a battle that those heroes and villains will never understand. While a hero fights crime and brings peace and a villain fights order for self-gain. What Naruto and Zabuza are fighting for is life. Only those that understand life can understand death. For they fight for more than order or chaos. They fight for a meaning that will stand through time for those that know this battle took place. That's what it means for fighting in a life or death battle. Cut, stab, parry, cut, block, parry, and strike. It seems like they have been fighting for hours on end. Neither are giving up. And neither are willing to let this battle end on a sad note. Zabuza thrusts his sword at Naruto while holding it with one hand. Naruto crosses his knives together blocking Zabuza's sword thrust, but that was the swordsman waiting for. He punched Naruto in the stomach. Naruto is lifted on the ground from the impact, he flies back and crashes into the sand behind him. Zabuza takes hold of his massive sword with both hands and with a mighty swings his sword downwards towards Naruto. Naruto does a back roll to dodge the downward sword swing. Pushing off his feet to leap towards Zabuza with his knives aiming for the neck. Tightening his grip the swordsman brings up his sword to block the attack in time. The swordsman punches the blonde in the face forcing him back onto the ground. The swordsman takes hold of his sword with two hands once more and swings his sword down to Naruto, but then something happened. Something that shouldn't happened. The hole opens up in Zabuza's chest. His strength leaves him by dropping to his knees and letting go of his sword. He looks down at the wound. What? Says a shocked Zabuza, it wasn't supposed to end like this. Zabuza fully drops to the ground bleeding out. Naruto dumbfounded by this. This was their duel. This was their battle. Someone took that away from them. A rage lit up inside Naruto. A rage that has been building for years. A rage that his mother gave him. A rage that his people gave him. I'll kill them. Yelled the rage-filled Golden Devil. Both Haku and Quiet run out of the tree line when they both felt strong killing intent from the beach. Haku's clothes are dirty and cut up and Quiet's are torn in several places making her almost naked. Their battle was mostly about speed with Haku's ice mirrors and Quiet's teleportation. Haku seeing her master on the sands of the beach bleeding out. She takes out 3 senbon needles and quickly created an ice mirror that she just threw. Quiet acting quickly because she seen the look in Haku's murderous face. An ice mirror forms behind Naruto with Haku flying out of the mirror. Feeling her killing intent the Golden Devil spins around thrusting his blade into Haku's chest as she cuts his left cheek deeply with her senbon. Humming to his senses, no. 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 Why? Why did you attack me? Demanded Naruto as he lays Haku down onto the sand, taking out his knife from her chest and tries to stop the bleeding. Because it was my duty Haku says as she is choking on her own blood, why without Zabuza-sama, I have no life no purpose. I live to serve him for saving me. That still doesn't mean you can throw your life away. Pleaded Naruto, you could have had so much more. Don't die. But it's too late, says Haku as the light leaves her eyes. Gritting his teeth together to try and keep his anger under check. Not only did his duel ended early than it should, but he killed Haku when the blonde didn't mean to. It wasn't supposed to end it like this. Everything was going as planned, but then that sniper. The sniper? Where is he? Demanded Naruto as he looks around for any place, position, or high ground perfect for a sniper to take aim from. Quiet appears in a black mist with a man that she spent the last few minutes torturing. She originally was going to stop Haku, but the girl was too fast. But instead saw a sniper sitting in a tree several meters away with little to no coverage at all. The Golden Devil grabs the would-be sniper, who sent you? Gato, answered Quiet. Quiet already tortured the man and he gave up Gato real fast. Go and tell Gato that I'm coming for him. Tell Gato that the Golden Devil will have his head. Naruto shoved the man away before he bolts off to Gato. Naruto drops to his knees as he stares at the bodies of Zabuza and Haku. His honor was robbed. A duel to the death was taken from him and an innocent was taken. Gato is going to die a very painful and slow death. And Naruto has just the right method. Quiet touches Naruto's injured cheek, heal. Naruto gently pushed Quiet's hand away from his cheek. He runs his fingers through the wounds. Haku managed to not only pierce his cheeks, but drag them down. The wounds are very deep, so deep the blonde put his finger into one of the wounds and can feel his teeth. Haku cut all the way through his cheek. It will not heal, it will scar. Naruto kneeled down to Haku's body. He takes 3 senbon from a pouch hanging from her waist. Placing the 3 senbon between his fingers and with a swift plunges the senbon into his right cheek. The blonde gave himself the same wounds that Haku gave him. Why? Questioned Quiet. Because they are reminders. So that I will forever remember them. Come, we have a little man to kill. Said Naruto. Oh. Beto is panicing. Zabuza and Haku left to fight the one that has been causing the little man problems. The assassin caused the businessman millions. Destroying his warehouse full of weapons, drugs, and secret plans that could be sold to anyone, along with all of his slaves freed, Zori and Waraji, both have been killed. Seeing that Zabuza was going to kill the assassin. So Gato had one of his men follow the duo. His orders were to watch the fight and kill the winner, but the fucker mussed up. He killed Zabuza, but he didn't wait for the fight to end. Now the assassin is coming for him. Outside of Gato's mansion a few hundred feet away stands Naruto and Quiet. Naruto turns the computer on and is typing in commands into the mortar. Quiet is kneeling down next to a mortar. She loads an 81mm shell down the barrel. What Naruto has planned will make sure that no one walks away from this. The shell fires up into the air. A parachute opens up causing the shell to slowly fall to the ground. Hammer up and running, says Quiet while rubbing her throat, then loads another shell into the mortar. Fire. Orders Naruto as he looks onto a target. The mortar fires the shell. White clouds explode over the mansion's outer walls. Locking onto another target and giving the order to fire once more. The mansion is bombarded with a deadly chemical element phosphorus. That's right, it is none other than white phosphorus. Gato had them at the warehouse with a mortar that went with it. The little man didn't know what he had. A deadly weapon that has been called into questioning for its effects on people. The OPCW, Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, has been pushing the ban on white phosphorus for years now. Looking on the screen and seeing no more movement meant all the targets have been hit. Even part of the mansion has been damaged quite a bit. No more movement. Let's go and end this. Says Naruto. Both Naruto and Quiet make their way to Gato's mansion. The blonde pushed open the front gate to see the full damage that they caused. Bodies have been charred completely black, vehicles destroyed and are on fire, craters from the shells hitting the ground, there are even some mercenaries still alive begging for help. Kept focus Quiet. They'll die soon enough. Says Naruto as he ignores the cries for help. This isn't the first time that used white phosphorus. Back during the Liberian Civil War he used it on villages that didn't join them. It was if you didn't join then you die a painful death. White phosphorus was used for it. It was to send a message to the other villages to join them. Picking down the front door to see that the white phosphorus got inside killing those near the door. Quiet disappears by using her invisible. Naruto makes his way up the stairs continue to walk down the hallway. The mansion must have haven't been built too well for white phosphorus made it inside the second floor. Naruto came to a stop hearing the sounds of a man struggling. He pushed open a door to his right and lo and behold. There lies Gato on the floor burned by the white phosphorus. Naruto stomps onto Gato's spine. Crying out in pain, "What are you doing?" demanded Gato. "I'm sorry, did that hurt?" "Let me fix that." Naruto stomps on Gato's spine again. "Does that feel better?" "You bastard. I'll make you pay for this," threatens Gato. "No, you won't," says Naruto before stomping in the back of Gato's skull. Mission complete. While Naruto went to find and kill Gato, Quiet went around the mansion and killed everyone that survived. After Gato's death the mansion was raided by the islanders after all the bodies was removed. Can't let them see what they did to them. The slaves from the caves came to the village and were welcomed with open arms. "Thank you for your work," says a graceful Tizuna. "Think nothing of it. I just did my job and killed Gato and all those that he hired. You're free now," Naruto says as he places all the duffel bags on the sand. "Still, you did a great thing here. You're welcome here anytime you wish to visit." Turning his head over to Quiet, "Quiet, there is something that I need to do. Radio me when Deathstroke arrives." Quiet nods her head as Naruto leaves. After Gato's death Naruto buried Zabuza and Haku on a cliff that is overlooking the village. Haku has a simple wooden cross for her grave, while Zabuza's sword is his grave. The blonde stands in front of their graves. "For what it's worth you were a worthy opponent, Zabuza." "Haku, thank you." With that being said Naruto leaves the graves behind. If he just waited a bit more he would have saw something strange. Naruto, there is still so much that you have to do, but don't worry for you won't be alone. Come along you too. I know we're the perfect place for you to go. The line. The line. That's what Batman calls it. A line that separates the good and the bad. But what the Bat doesn't know is that the line doesn't exist. There is no line. There is no good, no bad, just morals. There is no good nor evil, just the thought. Fairbanks, Alaska. In a safe house several miles outside of Fairbanks sits Naruto sitting in a nice comfy chair with a table sitting in front of him with a chessboard on top of it. Quiet is standing next to him and is wearing warm clothes for once. After their first meeting in Taiwan, Quiet stayed with Naruto for a debt that was needed to be repaid. Of course Naruto doesn't know what debt she was talking about. Sitting in front of Naruto sitting in a chair is Rose Wilson, otherwise known as Ravager. She has long white hair, a wide eye patch, and a lone brown eye. You can tell that she spends a lot of her free time training and working out. She and Naruto met shortly after his mission in Taiwan. Standing next to Rose is Wintergreen. It's been more than 2 years since that mission and a lot has changed since then. During the 2 years Slade set his sights on Jump City and the Teen Titans that live there. Deathstroke tried to get Robin to become his apprentice and failed. The old man then turned his sights on a young girl by the name of Tara, who in turn betrayed Slade and killed him. Since then Rose took over Vigilance Incorporated, a search and rescue operation set up as a mercenary organization by Slade's ex-wife, Adeline. Rose, move her rook, I take it you want to know why I'm here? Asked the white-haired woman. That's a stupid question to ask. You wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't important. You would have just called, answered back Naruto as he takes Rose's knight. Have you heard of Yoshida Medical and Medicine? Asks Rose as she takes Naruto's queen. Who hasn't? They run the biggest medical company in all of Asia, if not the entire world. They have some of the best minds for that field anyway. What does this have to do with this visit? Asked the blonde when he takes Rose's last rook. They were making a breakthrough with a new type of scalpel as she takes Naruto's pawn. All this for a scalpel? There has to be more to this as he too takes Rose's pawn. It isn't a scalpel. It's a sword. They have been working on a way to cut skin during operations without causing too much damage to the patient. They call this new technology high-frequency blade technology. A high-frequency blade is a sword reinforced by a powerful alternating current and resonated at extremely high frequencies. This oscillation weakened the molecular bonds of anything it cut, thereby increasing its cutting ability, says Rose as she takes Naruto's rook. That sounds bad. Naruto moves his king, though that would bring some problems. The use for it would be good for the medical field, but then on the flip side the use it can have on the battlefield. The ability to cut anything is a dream come true to any soldier. Wintergreen, what would you think if this technology come onto the battlefield? Asks Naruto. Wintergreen rubs his chin, it would be impractical for the first few years. It is literally bringing a knife to a gunfight, but with enough training and skilled fighters, it can make the battlefield like it used to be up close and personal. So that's why you want me to steal it from Yashia? Yes, but it was already stolen. A week ago someone from Lex Corporation broke into the R&D department stealing the sword and all the data on it. The sword and the data are located in Jump City's Lex Corporation branch, said Rose as she moves her queen. The Teen Titans will try to stop me, even if they know that the technology was stolen from somewhere else. Naruto scratches the side of his head. I think I have a way to steal it and they won't even know it. Oh? Says a grinning Rose, do tell. Slade set his sights on Robin to take him on as an apprentice. Slade took his time and Robin was going mad without that many clues on who Slade is or why he was there. He tricked the rest of the Titans into thinking that a new villain was making a play for power, but in fact it was the boy wonder all along. The only one who wasn't fooled was Slade. It nearly broke the Titans apart because of his stunt. Robin went and locked up the suit that he was using, to never be used again. I will use the codes and blueprints that Tara gotten when she betrayed the Titans to infiltrate Titan Tower, steal the suit, steal whatever powers the suit, along with stealing the sword and the data for it. They will never know what hit them. Checkmate. Declares Naruto. Rose looks at the board. During Naruto's speech he promoted one of his pawns into a queen, a rook, and a knight. Trapped her king and blocked her other pieces. She was distracted by the blondes explaining with his plan. Grinning, you cheated, says Rose. If you aren't cheating, then you aren't trying. And with that being said Naruto leaves with Quiet following after him. Rose looks at the chessboard before smirking and shaking her head. In the last 2 years since she met Naruto, Rose can say that his mind is truly his most dangerous weapon. The white-haired woman will never understand why her father wanted to take on another apprentice when Naruto is the perfect apprentice that Slade could ever asked for. She can never understand her father. When she thinks she has him figured out, Slade does something that any normal person wouldn't do. Flashback. As Naruto walks through the forest after leaving behind Zabuza's and Haku's graves, the blonde makes his way back to the beach. Naruto, Quiet says over the radio, someone is here for you over. Roger that. I'm on my way back. Over and out. A few more minutes and Naruto arrives at the beach to see a Cessna 208 caravan sitting just off the shoreline. What Naruto didn't expect was to see Tsunade, Shizune, and Sakura there on the beach unloading medical equipment. "Ah-chan. What are you doing here?" asked Naruto as he gets closer to them. Tsunade turned to see her grandson walking towards them. She sees that he has a few bandages here and there, but what catches her eye is the bandages on both of his cheeks. Naruto, let me take a look at you while we talk. Naruto nods to his grandmother. Tsunade explains that Slade hired her and her students to help the people on the island with any and all injuries. The doctor wanted to decline, but when he showed her the check with that many zeros, you don't say no. Slowly pulling the one of the bandages on his cheek. She's seeing the damage, those won't heal properly, Naruto. They'll scar. What happened? Tsunade asked her grandson. My honor was stolen. I fighting in a death match in Zabuza. My opponent was killed, but I didn't kill him. A would-be sniper did the deed. I lost it. Haku, Zabuza's apprentice attacked me. I turned my rage, my anger onto her. Killing her. With her death my rage subsided, my honor was stolen and my duel was taken from me, explains Naruto as he was lost. Tsunade hugs her grandson, it's alright. Everything will be alright. Why do you believe your honor was stolen? Mom always said a warrior's honor was everything. A duel to the death between two warriors is the greatest honor one could ask for. By dying in battle like you will have a peaceful place in the afterlife. A place where you can be a rest. Tell me about you, mother. Tell me about the woman that catch the eye of my son. I wouldn't say it like that. Mom didn't like to talk about it. What they did. Mom didn't like what they did just to survive and make sure that their culture survives. Mom hated that her people became what they always feared. Mom wanted nothing more than to run away, but she didn't know where to go. She said that what she did to make me. She didn't want to do the act, but if she didn't then someone else would've. Naruto, it sounds like your mother raped Minato, Tsunade dreaded the answer. Mom said our people have lost our way. Became what we feared. Mom said that she got to know dad before they ended him. Naruto says while looking away from his grandmother. It pained him to talk about what his mother told him. Naruto already knows what will happen to his people if they continue to follow this path. They will die out before long and there is nothing they do about it. Naruto, I have to ask, I gave your father a necklace. Do you have it? It is just a simple necklace with a green gem, Tsunade asks Naruto while banishing the thoughts that her son was raped. No, I don't have it. Mom always wore it and would stare at it at times. Losing herself. When we were found it I think it was lost. Mom cried over losing it. Tsunade just nods her head. She doesn't like the thought that her only son was raped, but apparently Naruto's mother loved Minato with all her heart. It showed that the woman cared her for son with her dying breath. During their whole conversion, Tsunade patched up whatever cuts and berries that her grandson had. Tell me about this young girl you are hanging around with. Is she your girlfriend? Tsunade says while trying to tease her grandson. Not catching what his grandmother is getting at, what do you mean? Quiet helped me, Naruto smiles at Quiet as they walk back towards everyone, she has some really cool powers. Really? Tsunade looks at Quiet with curiosity, you're metahuman. Quiet nods, I never ran any medical tests on a metahuman before. I want to do the full works. The only people that actually do anything with metahumans are at STAR Labs. Says Tsunade as she grabs Quiet and drags her away. Naruto watches Quiet being taken away. The blonde could only stare at one of the strongest things he'd seen. Wintergreen made himself be known by clearing his throat. Naruto quickly turned around to face Wintergreen. I believe you've done a wonderful job, young master. You killed Gato and his 2 lieutenants and any of his hired help. Not only that, but you managed to gain several bags full of weapons and blueprints, praises Wintergreen, did you complete your over-objective? Naruto looks around before reach behind him and pulls out a thick file, everything that Gato owned is here. With him dead and no heirs. Gato Shipping Company is good as dead. Wintergreen takes the thick file and opens it up looking through several pages, not necessary, young master. Well you were on your mission Master Slade and I have bought all the shares for the shipping company. And since you have all the proper paperwork. I say you are now owner and CEO of Gato Shipping Company. Stated Wintergreen. Dumbfounded. That is the expression marrying Naruto's face. That was Slade's master plan. The mission was to have Naruto basically end Gato Shipping Company to use legal means to take ownership with his death. With Gato's death as owner and CEO, with no heirs, with no partners, with no shareholders, everything fell to Naruto with him holding all the paperwork, saying he is now owner and CEO. Now it dawned onto the blonde. While Wintergreen was teaching Naruto he spent a lot of time on business. They both planned this. They planned this mission for 2 years to make sure that Naruto would one day take over a company and made sure he knew what he was doing. Those bastards. Thought Naruto. Flashback end. Naruto walks out of his safe house wearing a heavy coat with Quiet following him with a heavy coat on too. They go around the safe house to a private airstrip with a hangar that is holding their plane. Naruto grabs the handle on the hangar's door and slides the door open with Quiet doing the same for the other door. Sitting there in the hangar the special Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird that Naruto found 2 years ago. The plane was made while following the blueprints, but after a few test runs they found out why it was never fully made. The engines were the problem. The engine would overheat 2 hours into the flight, giving away the position of the plane. After many days reworking the blueprints for the plane, they finally fixed a problem with a set of new engines and a new placement for them on the plane. A sleek design for one of the best aerodynamic planes ever made. Using black stealth paint coating the entire thing for nose to tail wings. The wings form a V pointing towards the front of the plane, making it looks like it'll cut their air. The engine were originally on the side of the plane with the wings connected to them, but were changed from there in place at the back on the plane. The engines being the most costly since they had to be made from scratch are the quietest engines ever built. Quiet walks over to the plane. A small panel opens up with a small red light for her and she put in several codes. The codes were made so that no one can get into the plane without them. If some did try and got the codes wrong, the plane would explode. The light turns green and with it the bomb bay doors slide open with a lift lowered down. Quiet went first up the lift, then Naruto. When Naruto went up the lift, Quiet was already at the controls starting everything up. Inside the plane is quite big given how small the plane looks from the outside. The compartment with the bomb bay doors is where a squad of 12 can wait to be dropped off. The next compartment holds all types of different weapons, ammo, and explosives. The compartment beyond that is another place where a squad of 8 can be sighted, and finally the cockpit where Quiet is currently located. Naruto sits in the co-pilot chair next to Quiet. The hum of the engine sing. The plane slowly moves out of the hangar and onto the airstrip. Quiet checks the systems once more. The plane rolls down the airstrip, gaining speed as it does so. Gaining enough speed, the plane pulls up off the ground. The plane accelerates into the skies, climbing higher and higher. Jump City. A few hours passed between flying from Alaska to Jump City. Quiet landed the plane in one of Slade's privately owned airfield. Naruto left Quiet at the plane while he went to have fun with the Titans. We find Naruto sitting on top of a building that overlooks the bay that Titan Tower is located at. Sitting next to the blonde is a small police scanner and a small laptop. While the blonde is listening to the police scanner, he is looking through the laptop. The blueprints for Titan Tower along with any of the security codes. Granted, the security codes most likely have changed since then, but the blueprints haven't. Cinderblock, Overload, and Plasmus are attacking them all. I repeat, Cinderblock, Overload, and Plasmus are attacking them all. Says a voice over the police scanner. And on cue a red motorcycle flies out of a hidden tunnel with a blue car following it soon after. A green pterosaur flies through the air alongside Starfire and Raven. Acting quickly, Naruto dives off the building. The blonde rolls when he hit the ground, which he bolted towards the docks that are just in front of him. Leaping off the ground and into the waters below, Naruto swims towards Titan Tower. Naruto knows that he does have that much time since the Titans have fought and defeated Cinderblock, Overload, and Plasmus in the past. Every minute counts and Naruto knows it. The assassin turned thief makes it to the shoreline before he dashes towards the tower. Just before Naruto is seen by the cameras, he put up a hood and a face mask. Naruto stops in front of a ventilation duct and rips off the vent duct with him crawling inside afterward. Crawling through the air ducts is surprising easy. The blonde wonders why they are big enough for someone to crawl through them, but doesn't think much about it. An air vent duct is kicked open with Naruto dropping down to the floor, landing in a crouch. He stands up and walks over to a large safe door. He whistles at the size of it before going over to the computer for the door. Typing in a few commands before a screen pops up asking for a password. Let's see, says Naruto. Robin access denied. Batman access denied. Titans access denied. Gotham access denied. This is getting me nowhere. Growled out Naruto. Naruto thought and thought about what the password could be. He doesn't have much time left. If he doesn't get it now, he may never get another chance like this again. Naruto looks through the files that Slade had on the Titans. Searching for anything. Slade was able to gain a lot of information on the Titans before his death. Such information is the secret identities of Robin, who is Richard John Grayson, Cyborg, who is Victor Vic Stone, Starfire, who is Coriander, Beast Boy, who is Garfield Mark Gar Logan, Raven, who is Rachel Roth. Thinking long and hard. Robin, who was trained by Batman, would make it something that is easy to remember, but something that only they would know, something that was important to them at one point or another. Something that only Grayson would know. Something that happened to him. Something that was very dear to him. Then it hits Naruto. The flying Grayson's access granted. The sound of locks inside the safe door unlocks echoes throughout the room. The safe door opens slowly, revealing the suit and belt for said suit. Grinning, bingo. Oh. 30 minutes later, the Titans return to the tower tired from their long battle. It was only thing fighting Cinderblock, Overload, and Plasmus as individuals, but when they combine into Turnian, it is another thing entirely. Man, that was one tough fight. Says Cyborg as he pops his shoulders. Dude, I know. Ever since they learned they confuse like that. Those three are becoming more and more of a problem, says a green cat laying out on the couch. Robin walks into the living area where Cyborg and Beast Boy are relaxing. We've been robbed. All the Titans gather where the safe is located in Titan Tower. Cyborg hawks up his arm to the computer reading all the files and camera logs. Beast Boy has turned into a bloodhound sniffing around the safe, and Raven is using her magic to create an image of the thief. Well, I have some good news and some bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? Asked Cyborg. The bad, answered Robin. Besides the Red X suit being stolen, the thief cracked the password-protected computer. Which you know is one of the best in the world created by yours truly. Did he use some type of device? Something that we can trace? No, that's the thing. The thief did have a computer, but he didn't use it on the safe. He hacked into the safe by using passwords. Using passwords that you might use. The thief cracked the safe using information that he had on you, Robin. He used the Flying Graysons to open the safe. This thief knows us. Said Cyborg. This sent warning off in the boy wonder's head. A thief found out his secret identities. It is one of the most guarded secrets any hero and to a lesser extent villains. Robin learned from Batman that most of the time when someone learns another secret identity is mostly done on dumb lucky or with someone with a mind of a genius that looked past the cap and cowl. Beast Boy. Robin trying to think of anything else. The thief smells like Slade. Answered Beast Boy still in his bloodhound form. This is worst. The thief smelled like Slade, which could mean they are dealing with another apprentice of the madman. Slade has been dead for 2 months, but he still seemed to cause the Titans problems. This bad. With that suit he could do a lot of damage, says Robin as he rubs the side of his head. What are you talking about, Robin? It's just a suit. What could it possibly do? Asked Cyborg. It's not what it could do, but what it powers the suit. If the thief knows about the suit, then he knows what powers it. What powers the suit? Xenothium, Robin says with regret. What? Yelled Cyborg, you powered the suit with Xenothium. Don't you know how dangerous that stuff is? What's Xenothium? Asked Beast Boy. Xenothium, one of the most dangerous elements ever found on our planet. It can power a city with just a few ounces for 5 years. That's what it could if it is powered correctly, but if it isn't, well, let's just say said city will be nothing more than a crater. The only way to make sure that Xenothium is stored correctly is to freeze it near absolute zero. Explained Cyborg. Oh. Naruto stares at the Red X suit and belt as both lay on the table in front of said blonde. The Golden Devil grabs his hair and pulls very hard. Naruto just learned what powers the suit. Bird brain is stupid. Thought Naruto as he insulted Robin some more. Bad. That's all Quiet just says. Quiet doesn't say much, but she does know a lot of things. He spends most of her time reading and learning more and more about the world. She is a very patient woman. That's an understatement, says Naruto. Well, we know what we have to steal in order to get into Lex Corporation now. I'm going to use the suit and try to burn off what Xenothium is left in it. Oh. The Titans were alerted to an alarm going off in one of the Lex Corporation warehouses. They moved quickly to the warehouse, but only Robin seemed to move faster than all of them. He knows what's in the warehouse and what it can find. They buzz through the door to see Red X sitting on of the crates waiting for them. Naruto donned the Red X suit to not only run the Xenothium out of it, but to also see what the suit can really do. He'd seen when Robin used the suit and how he fought and defeat the other Titans with it. The suit was made to defeat the Titans if any of them went rogue. Just like how Batman made plans to take down the Justice League if they ever went rogue. It seems that the master and apprentice think very much alike. You? Robin exclaims. Me? Taunts Red X. Why did you steal the suit? Demands Robin. Because it was gathering dust. Such a fine suit, Naruto says while lifting the cape up, it's so flashy. Return the suit and we won't send you to jail, Robin is trying to negotiate. Rubbing his chest, let me think, nope. Titans, go. Red X throws his hands out throwing Red X-shaped shuriken. All the Titans, but Raven dodges them. The shuriken thrown explodes causing Raven to throw up a shield of black energy. She lowers her shield only to see Red X running towards her. Raven throws up another shield, but Red X teleports behind the girl swiping her feet from out underneath her. The thief takes out a single shuriken, but green bolts of energy hit his hand, forcing him to drop it. Starfire fly towards Red X firing several star bolts. The thief jumps in the air, dodging the star bolts in midair, lands on the wall before jumping off said wall and hops on Starfire's back, and then hops off. The alien princess turns around chasing Red X. She fires several star bolts at him once more. Red X turns around firing red beams that hit and bounce off the high beams hitting Starfire. A green pterosaur flies up behind him before turning into a green gorilla. Roaring at the thief trying to intimidate him, but didn't do much good since said thief stuck a Red X in the gorilla's mouth. The gorilla tries to get the Red X out by flexing his jaw and pulling it out, but nothing worked. Thinking quickly, Beast Boy transformed from a gorilla to a hippopotamus. Unfortunately he was too big for the high beams falling off and landing on a pile of crates underneath him. Red X lands in a crouch to see Cyborg running towards him. Naruto throws up his arm firing a single Red X. Cyborg throws up his arms to block it for the X to expand. The ends of the X grabs the crates that are around Cyborg, crashing them towards the teen. Beast Boy, still in his hippopotamus forms, rolls onto his feet, transforming back into his normal form. Starfire floats behind the green transformer, Raven floats over the crates to their right, and Cyborg stands up out of the wreck, crates dusting himself off behind his right arm, transform into his ion cannon. "Come on kids," X marks the spot. Taunts Red X. Teleporting an ion cannon blast, hopping off a crate that's surrounded by black energy, twisting his body midair, dodging a starbolts, landing on the ground with Beast Boy transformed into a Yeti standing behind him. The Yeti roars, slamming his fists onto the thief, but said thief teleports away from danger. Red X teleports onto crates behind the Titans. Robin comes out of nowhere tackling him. The roll on the ground with Robin landing on his knees and Red X landing on his feet. The boy wonder throws a birdarang at Red X only for the thief to teleport away. Robin catches his birdarang for his to dodge a fist thrown from behind him. Robin stands on his hands kicking and grabbing the thief's hand to throw him. The boy wonder follows Red X throwing punches at him. He uses the teleportation in small bursts to dodge the fists. He then leaps off Robin's fist, throwing his balance off, spinning in the air to throw out a kick. Robin blocks the kick, throwing Red X into a crate. Robin grabs Red X's face mask. "Who are you?" demands Robin. "If I'd wanted you to know that, would I be wearing a mask?" says Red X before he shocks Robin. Being punched in the face, Robin flies back, crashing into a few crates. Cyborg and Raven rushes Red X. Red X flies between the two. Azrath Metrian. Raven didn't get to finish her spell as the Red X between her and Cyborg caused her to misfire her spell at her teammate, while Cyborg's ion cannon misfired, hitting Raven instead. "Looks like you got your wires crossed," said Red X before dodging a starbolt. Jumping and dodging, using the smoke caused by the starbolts, Red X fires an X that enlarges, hitting Starfire, trapping her against the wall behind her. "You have beautiful red hair," compliments Red X. Starfire didn't see it that way. She fires starbolts from her eyes, hitting the thief. He flies back, hitting a crate, then the ground. Looking up, Beast Boy is running towards Red X. As he is doing so, he transforms into a polar bear. Punching the ground, red lines cut through the ground, causing the ground to open up a fissure. Beast Boy falls in the fissure. "Watch your step," taunts Red X. Red X rolls Robin over with his foot to see the scanner he was looking for. Seeing that he found what he was looking for, Red X flees. Robin forcing his body up, chasing after the thief. "I won't let you get away with this," yelled out Robin. The Red X flies out, wrapping around the boy wonder's ankles, causing him to fall. Swinging the scanner around, "Better luck next time, kid. And thanks for the suit," says Red X before he pushes the button on the buckle to the belt. Only for it not to work. "Come on. Come on." Robin leaps up, cutting his ankles free. Red X takes off with Robin chasing after him. The thief jumps through an open sky window. He runs across the roof, hitting his belt. Robin dives for Red X only to miss. Red X leaps higher into the air, twisting his body. "Catch you later," says Red X before teleporting away. Oh. Naruto lands on top of a roof before taking off his mask. He was kinda disappointed with how the Titans fought him. Cyborg has both bronzes and brains. With his high-powered brain, he should have found a way to counter some of the moves that Naruto thrown at him. The blonde can tell that Raven was holding back from losing control. With her being part demon, she could have easily wiped the floor with him, but didn't. Starfire had the power, speed, and range to easily defeated him too, but didn't want to go against Earth's laws. Beast Boy was the most dangerous one, but he is too immature to use his animal forms in better ways. And Robin was trained by the Batman, enough said. All he can say is if this is the team that defeated Slade, then they got lucky. Looking at the scanner, the blonde now has an excuse to break into the Lex Corporation building here in Jump City to really steal what he originally came for. He'll probably has to fight the Titans once more, but if they do repeat like earlier, well, they just aren't great heroes then. Oh. The night kept going strong as most of the city is asleep. A shadow moves across rooftops till it stops. Red X looks up at Lex Corporation building that is standing in front of him. Inside is what he really was after. Smirking at the thought that the Titans won't know that the suit wasn't what he'd really wanted. Silence. That's what greeted Naruto when he sneak inside Lex Corporation. There are a few guards walking around each floor, reporting in every 15 minutes. The thief watches as the guard in the surveillance room radio all the other guards walking throughout the building that he's going to take a piss. Dropping down from the ceiling, Red X walks over to the main computer. Typing through screen after screen. After a few minutes, the thief found what he was looking for. On the 34th floor is the stolen high-frequency sword and all the data to it. Red X also found that the Xenothium on the 70th floor. By time the guard returns to the surveillance room it was empty. A few minutes later the Titans arrived and alerted all the guards that there is a thief in the building. Staying to the shadows, Red X passes Raven and Beast Boy, then Cyborg, followed by Starfire. He came to a stop when he sees that Robin is standing in front of the vault and the controls to said vault that leads to the Xenothium. Robin hears Starfire scream. Something isn't right. Red X made sure to sneak past all the Titans and guards. He didn't knock anyone out or killed anyone. Someone is crashing this party. Starfire, says Robin as he runs down the corridor. What the matter, kid? Robin turns around to face Red X. Don't you want to play? After all, they're your toys. Red X flashes a handful of shuriken just before throwing them at the boy wonder. Robin ducking the shuriken. The shuriken hit the controls causing it to explode. The vault's door opens up. Red X hops back into the corridor with Robin giving chase. It showed that Red X wasn't as flexible as Robin, but he is making do by dodging not only the trip laser security beams and fighting Robin at the same time. They both leaped off and dropped down 30 feet. Falling towards a barrier that separate the rest of the fall. Red X fires an X that cuts through the barrier with him falling through the hole. The hole closes after Red X passes through it, but Robin hits the barrier. Red X takes off down the corridor. After a few minutes Robin gets past the barrier and drops down to run down the corridor to a large open and empty room. Robin can't see the door on the other side of the room. He wonders where did Red X gone to. There was only one way in and out. Red X came out of the shadows, after you. Says Red X before pushing Robin forward. The floor lit up. Robin looks down as the floor to see the spot that he is standing on is bright red. A laser that is hooked up to the ceiling slides over above Robin. The barrel lights up with the hum of charging up. Robin jumps out of the way as the laser fires at him. The laser tracks Robin's movements following him and firing at his location. Using Robin as a distraction, Red X leaps in front of Robin as the door opens up. Thanks for the hand, kid. Says Red X as the door closes. Red X closes the vault door on the other side locking it. Naruto is glad the suit has warmers inside. The temperature inside is below zero. The only way for Xenothium to be stored in freezing cold temperatures. Granted the only way to make Xenothium completely is to freeze at the temperature of -273.15 on the Celsius scale, but if you're trying to store it as long the ore is below 32.018 F. Xenothium ore, Red X says as he works the console, enough to power the suit a good long time. Arms clamp the floating vials of Xenothium in its liquid form. He grabs a capsule and begins placing vials in it. I love it when the good guy wins. Says Red X as he places the last vial in the capsule. A loud noise can be heard on the other side of the vault, then a shack. A red beam blasts through wall that is connecting to the vault. The beam moves and cuts through the wall. The vault door falls over. Robin is standing on the other side holding the laser from the ceiling that has been ripped out of said ceiling. You're not going to win, the boy wonder growled out. Robin drops the laser before he leaps doing a spin in midair, kicking Red X into the behind him. Red X drops the capsule when he hit the wall. Kid, you are taking life too seriously. Said Red X. They both charge towards each other. Yelling Robin leaped towards Red X, only to go over him. Quickly turning around the boy wonder throws several small silver balls at Red X. The thief teleports away before the silver balls explode. Red X lands on his hands, jumps off his hands, lands in a crouch, before throwing shuriken at Robin. Robin himself dodges several of the shuriken to only take out his bow staff to block the other shuriken. The Red X on Red X gloves glowed red before enlarging. The enlarge XS spins at high speeds. Jumping towards Robin taking a swing at him. The boy wonder blocks, jumps, dodges Red X attacks. The spinning blades spark off of Robin's bow staff. Robin blocks and locks the spinning blades before pushing Red X away. He then leaped towards the thief swinging his bow staff, only to miss when Red X ducks. Red X throws a left cross, then a right jab. Robin dodges both and hits Red X with his bow staff. The blades pick up speed. He leaped towards Robin swinging his left arm out. Robin ducks and dodges as the blades cut through the wall. Robin slides behind the thief. Said thief spins on the balls of his feet taking another swing at the boy wonder. Robin goes on the defensive blocking the spinning blades trying to not get cut. Robin then kicks Red X away. They cross and lock their weapons together. Why did you steal the suit? What are you planning to do? Demands Robin. Whatever I want. Answered back Red X as he leans back taking Robin with him to only kick him off. Not everyone likes to play the big villain, kid. I'm a thief. I'm not threatening your precious city, I'm just looking out for number one. So you're not psychic, you're just selfish. Lighten up chuckles, Red X raises his hands up, I'm not such a bad. Once you get to know me. Red X fires XS at Robin. The boy wonder hits the first one out of the way, but only to get his taken out from underneath him. Robin looks up to see Red X falling towards him. He rolls out of the way as Red X uses his super strength to crush the flooring. Robin kicks Red X into the wall, causing him to hit the floor afterward. Red X sees the capsule and grabs it, plays time over, kid, only to be answered with Robin taking out a birdarang, back off, or I'll trip the power core. And the core triggers the rocks. I don't think you want that on your conscience, threatens Red X. And I don't think you want to be disintegrate. Robin throws back at Red X. Several arrive behind Red X wearing hazmat suits. One of them blasts Red X knocking him out and then firing at Robin knocking him out. Waking up, Naruto doesn't know how long he was out for. The last thing he remembers is fighting Robin, then hazmat suit wearing people came, knocking him out with their weapon. Rubbing his head, okay, who were the moon men? Demands Red X tilt bar are lowered down trapping him, huh? Criminals. Red X turns around facing Robin, just like you. Come on, kind. You really don't think this little playpen can really hold me? The bars shock Red X, you really don't care do you? A low-life maniac just got his hands on enough xenothium to disintegrate the entire city, and it is your fault. You mean our fault? At least I'm going to do something about it. And if you cared about anything other than yourself, you'd be helping. Sorry, kid. Some guys don't like play the hero. I'll be back to take you to jail. And with that Robin leaves Red X there. Being the console, Red X looks around the room. Most of the xenothium was taken showing that this place was robbed. Tapping the side of his head, quiet, I pick up. Red X waited for several minutes before a black mist appears with Quiet walking out of it. She quickly saw Naruto stuck inside a cage. He points to the console. Taking the hint she unlocks the bar to go back into the floor. Without saying a word Quiet walks over to Naruto, placing a hand on his shoulder before disappearing in a black mist. They appear several floors down in front of another vault. Knowing what was inside, Naruto places one of his hands on the vault. Shocking the vault that unlocks it. The vault's door swings open revealing a sword, but not just any sword. It none other than the high-frequency sword. Naruto takes the sword without a care in the world as the alarms go off. Not caring about the alarms, Naruto looks at the sword. He unsheathes the blade to get a better look at it. The blade is tempered high-carbon spring steel, with a blade length of 29 3/4 in. And a handle length of 11 inches, weighing at 3.75 pounds. The overall design for the sword is a 8th century Chikudo. It shows that the person who created and designed this technology wanted swords to come back. Quiet put her hand back onto Naruto's shoulder and disappears in a black mist. Both Quiet and Naruto are thrown out of a cloud of black mist. Groaning Naruto sits on his knees. That was the worst teleportation to date. But there is a reason for that, and that's the longest distance Quiet has done to date. The young woman herself is breathing hard and is barely staying awake. Good job, Tixi. Naruto was treated with a glare. Let it be known that Quiet doesn't like her birth name. He can never get why she hates it, but the blonde doesn't ask the question. For one, she is his friend and comrade. Naruto respects Quiet too much. Letting Quiet rest, Naruto turns his attention to the sword he just stolen. The sword was the only thing in the vault, but the data wasn't. He knows that they wouldn't separate the two, for they both would be studied at the same time. Looking better at the sword, Naruto notices that there is a thin line at the bottom of the hilt. He twists the hilt causing it to open up and a flash drive falls out. Bingo. Naruto put the flash drive back into the hilt and stands on his feet. He remembers what Robin talked about and was trying to make a point. Naruto knows that it was some way his fault that the xenothium was stolen. He can't let innocent people get hurt or killed because of his actions. Quiet, get some rest and when you feel better head back to the plane. I have some unfinished business to take care of. Take the high-frequency sword with you. Don't want anyone to know that this is what we were really after. Explained Naruto. Quiet nods her head as she takes the sword from Naruto before going back to laying on the ground once more. Naruto dashes off back towards the city. Luckily for the blonde he still has the scanner to track xenothium. Oh. Professor Chang is a failed scientist plain and simple. He has a brilliant mind, but no one was looking at his work. No one wanting anything to do with his breakthroughs or theists. As he saw a way out, took to crime. Using what he learned while working for big corporations. Blackmail. Chang learned enough blackmailing material to destroy several large corporations. By using his connects the mad professor runs an underground smuggling operation, providing illegal services for higher-tier villains. But Chang grows tired of smuggling, he wants to do what supervillains do and take hostage an entire city. Holding all the lives there with a weapon of mass destruction. When Robin came to him telling him that the suit he created that runs off of xenothium was stolen. That's when he knew to strike. The thief would go to Lex Corporation to steal the xenothium that's there. Yes, the Titans were there, but they were distracted by looking for the thief. It was simple really. Just wait for the opportunity and strike. Now he has 4 of the 5 titans, enough Xenothium to hold Jump City hostage, and no one is going to stop him. Canisters holding the Xenothium are loaded up on the back compartment to a modified telescope. The door to the observatory open up with the modified telescope moving into position. The hum of the telescope powers up. Buildings, neighborhoods, lives. Countless targets waiting to be disintegrate. Chang chuckles to himself before turning around to the frozen titans. Tell me, pretty girl, have you seen something ripped apart molecule by molecule? It's breathtaking. Starfire's eyes glowed green before the ice encasing her head breaks. You are a bad man. Fires her star bolts from her eyes. Oh? If you think I'm bad now. You're going to be really impressed once I'm finished with your city. And move on to you. Your plan shall fail. Robin will not be joining us, Chang says, cutting off Starfire, not with your lives on the line. For too risky for good boy like him. You would be surprised with the risks that Robin would take. Starfire stated. Tang climbs into the operating booth for the telescope. The telescope spins around facing the open skies. Has a nice smell to it, doesn't it? Chang asks. No one really. The telescope moves up as the barrel lowers, aiming towards the city. I've spent years hiding from this cursed city. Now let them hide from me. Prepare to fire. Ordered Chang. Robin swings down, kicking Chang in the head, firing the telescope. The beam fires upwards, missing the city, but hits the top of Titan Tower. You just made a big mistake. Says Robin. The back of the telescope opens up, rotates the canisters of Xenothium, then closes. Attack. Orders Chang. The red liquid hits the railings that hardens afterward, and a beam of red energy flies over Robin's head. Robin jumps over the railing, falling towards the 2 henchmen that are firing at him. The boy wonder lands between the 2, the one that was firing the red liquid turns around and fires at Robin. Robin ducks with the red liquid flying over his head, hitting the other henchman. Robin kicks the stuck henchman hard enough that breaks him free and then uses the motion to land on the other henchman. Robin grabs the weapon that fires the red liquid. He runs over to the railings, jumps on them and fires at the henchmen below. The henchmen step out of the way. Robin jumps off and slides down the hardened liquid. He knees one of the henchmen in the face, punched another, grabs one of the electric rods, shocking another henchman, spins around, shocking the last henchman. Robin! Yelled out Starfire. Robin turns around, facing the henchman running towards him. He drops the shock rods. He ducks and bobs the red liquid fired him, then uppercuts one of the henchmen. Robin grabs the hose to the breather on one of the henchmen's mask, releasing the Aegon. Another henchman runs behind the boy wonder, only to miss with the plug being pulled from his backpack, releasing the red liquid. The telescope turns around. Quickly. Quickly. Ha! Shouted Chang. The telescope stops humming to charge. Robin takes out a grappling hook and fires it up at the ceiling. Chang chuckles while pulling a leveler, causing the telescope to follow the boy wonder, and fires at him. The beam misses and goes through the ceiling. Robin quickly swings his body, landing on the catwalks. He runs, dodging the beam being fired at him several times till the beam hits the catwalk underneath Robin. He quickly grabs the railing, hanging on to dear life. The telescope aims at Robin, humming, "Okay, good boy. Who should I destroy first, you? Or your pretty friend?" asked Chang. The telescope lowers down, aiming at the other titans. "Starfire!" shouted Robin. Starfire struggles to get free, but to no avail. But just before Chang could fire, a red shuriken hits his hand and another hits the controls, causing electricity to spark out. Robin loses his grip and falls to his doom, but Red X catches him, lands on the railing and tosses the boy onto the catwalk. Robin rolls to his knees. "I know you didn't like playing the hero?" questions the boy wonder. "Doesn't mean I don't know how," says Red X while jumps over the railings. Henchmen run towards the duo, firing energy weapons at them. The thief and the hero jump up in the air, lands in the middle of the group. They mimic each other's moves. It was simple for Red X to mimic Robin's moves because Slade made sure to record all the fights the Titans were in. It was surprisingly easy to take out the henchmen afterward. Tang watched all his henchmen being beaten down. No. 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 Chang hits the control, causing the telescope to fire. The beam moves upwards, cutting through the observatory. The beam moves down and around, cutting through not just the observatory, but also the surrounding mountainside. The back of the telescope ejects the canisters of Xenothium. Robin lands on the controls in front of Chang, punching him to the floor. Red X lands next to Chang. "Time to get what I came for." Robin and the other titans get in front of Red X. "Time's up," says Raven. "Thanks for the help, X. But don't think that means you can just help yourself." "No problem, kid. This should keep me going for a while," says Red X, holding up a vial of Xenothium. "That won't do you much good without this," said Robin, holding up the belt to the suit, causing Red X to look down and see that it's gone. "Better luck next time." Red X slowly backs away from the titans. "Not bad, kid, not bad at all. before throwing the vial to the ground, causing it to explode. Oh. Naruto quickly changed out of the suit and simply disappeared in the growing crowd that is starting the new day. Everything went as planned. The high-frequency blade technology and no one knows it. Metropolis City. It is a simple morning with Alexander Joseph Lex Luthor going over several documents for the upcoming quarter. He had to put to the side of his hate for Superman for his company. After all, killing Superman doesn't pay for the bills. Sir, Luthor looked up to see Mercy, the Lex Corporation branch in Jump City, has been broken into. Large amounts of xenothium and the high-frequency blade technology was stolen. Luthor frowns, the high-frequency blade technology was a lose anyway. Yes, the technology was too good to pass up, but it would take years to make anything useful. The xenothium on the other hand will cost a fortune to replace. Stated Luthor. Death isn't an apology. Death. That has been one of things that caused Naruto to think. Death was always there hanging over his head ever since he was first born. It was something that his mother feared more than everything, but not her own death. His own death. With Kushina dying protecting Naruto. He'd seen firsthand that death came for everyone, even for his awesome, cool, unstoppable mom. With Slade taking Naruto in and teaching him how to fight and take lives. The blonde learned that death is fair. Death comes for everyone, young, old, poor, rich, politicians, lawyers, criminals, murderers. Anyone. Boston, Massachusetts. A few days passed since Naruto stole the high-frequency blade technology. He reported back to Rose, and instead of his normal payment, she gave him the high-frequency blade technology as his own. Seeing that he has no missions or assignments, the blonde took this opportunity to get some R&R. And what better place than Boston, Massachusetts? We catch Naruto sitting on a bench in one of the many parks that Boston has feeding the birds, or how he likes to poke fun at them, rates with wings. He spent most of the morning there just watching people walk by. Watching them live their lives. Worrying about bills, family, friends, lovers, and businesses. How they have easy lives and don't have to worry about losing their own lives. He always wondered how people could live like that. Thinking about them brought old happy memories to the surface. Flashback. The sun shines brightly in the clear skies with a few clouds here and there. Lush green forest of trees thick and untouched. Clean clear running streams of waters. The island is perfect as it should be. With fertile soil, marvelous vegetation, and varied natural resources, there was no want, no illness, no hatreds, and no wars. The weather is perfect, never too hot or too cold. Though it does slightly get cold at nights. The island is none other than Themyscira, otherwise known as Paradise Island. Home of the Amazons. Hidden in the untouched forest sits a small cottage. The walls of the cottage are made out of clay with clay tiles for the roofing along a chimney coming out of the side of the cottage. To the side of the cottage is a small garden that has potatoes, carrots, corn, and green onions. A hop away from the cottage is a pen with 3 chickens, a goat, and a cow. Inside the cottage is quite small, only fit for a single person, maybe 2. A bed, a wooden stove, and a fireplace for those cold nights with a few cabinets. Humming a soft tune while cutting a potato before dropping the sliced potato pieces into a boiling pot of broth with cut up carrots and meat. She turns around with her long fiery red hair moves like a veil. The redhead is wearing a chiton that's fastened at her left shoulder that is knee-length. A green gem hanging from a necklace is wrapped around her neck. She has fair skin with a nice tone of muscle, showing that she takes care of her body of years training to fight and protect her island and home, and her violet eyes shine brightly as she looks at her son. Naru-chan. Lunch is almost ready, stated Kushina. Mommy. Mommy. Look at what I found. Says Naruto as he runs up to Kushina, look. Naruto holds up his hand showing her a toad. Her little sunshine. Naru-chan, why do you have a frog? And how did you catch it? Asked Kushina. I was trying to get him all day. And it's a toad, mommy. The pretty lady said so, explained the little boy. What? Says a horrified Kushina. The pretty lady told me this is a toad, not a frog. Kushina quickly grabs her sword and rushes outside with Naruto following after her. When Kushina gets like this, it would scare Naruto. She would tell Naruto to hide in the hidden room underneath the bed when a group of pretty ladies would come and visit from time to time. He knows that whenever he spots a pretty lady coming to their cottage, he is supposed to rush home and hide till mommy tells him to come out. Kushina rushes outside expecting a squad of her former sisters armed and pointing their arrows at her, but she doesn't find them, only a single woman. But not just any woman, but a goddess, the goddess of wisdom, courage, inspiration, civilization, law and justice, mathematics, strength, war strategy, the arts, crafts, and skill, Athena. The goddess has raven black hair that is curled, so it isn't in her face to block her grey stormy eyes. She is wearing a chiton, but unlike Kushina's, her goes to her sandal-covered feet and is made out of the fines silk-dyed soft blue. Kushina, is that any way to greet a goddess? Asked Athena. Stunned that Athena is here at her cottage, but quickly steeled herself, "No, but I have to be careful." "So forgive me, Lady Athena," answered back Kushina. "I would be too if my son was caught." "Is that a threat?" demands Kushina. "I don't care who stand in my way, be man, fellow sister, or goddess." "Now that sounded like a threat, Kushina. You know you're walking a very dangerous path," Athena says in a higher tone. The toad in Naruto's small hands hops out with him trying to catch it. Kushina quickly grabs her boy and places him behind her with her sword pointing at the goddess. She wasn't going to lose her child. She doesn't care that Naruto wasn't born a girl, she only cares about the safety for him. When she saw the new mothers that gave birth to boys throwing them into the sea, the deed was disguised as her sisters. The same sisters that couldn't wait to be mothers were now throwing their own children into the sea to die. Using the excuse that they are male. So when a month later passed and she went into labor, Kushina knew that she couldn't give birth with the other Amazons. So she ran into the forest where she gave birth to a healthy baby boy. She knew deep down that she wasn't carrying a girl, but a boy. "That's enough, Athena," says a voice behind Kushina. Kushina turned around, hiding Naruto behind her once more. Standing in front of Kushina is one of the most beautiful women that she has laid her eyes on. She, just like Athena, is wearing a chiton that is dyed royal purple with a peacock cloak draped over her shoulders and over her head, only allowing a few brown locks of hair to show. The woman standing in front of Kushina is Hera, the goddess of women, childbirth, family and marriage. The queen of Olympus. "Lady Hera? What are you doing here?" questions a panicked Kushina. It was bad enough that Athena knew where she lived and found out about Naruto, but now another goddess knew about Naruto. Gritting her teeth and tightening her grab to her sword. Kushina was making up in her mind to fight and try to force the two goddesses to leave her alone with her son. "I wouldn't trying anything that you are thinking," says Hera. "I only came here to see my future champion." "A future champion? Surely you jest. I love my son dearly, but I will only train him to defend himself. Not to fight for the gods," stated the Redeed. "When you ran from your sisters you changed fate. You were supposed to gone to Hippolyta demand Hecatia for protection on not just you, but your son as well. Your son would have grown up with joy, happiness, and honor. The Amazons would have seen Naruto as their future prince and over time as their future king. He would have gone down in history as Themyscira's greatest king. But now there is a warrior of darkness that'll lead the world into a new age with the Amazons on the brink of extinction," says Hera as she looks at the frightened boy. She sees both the paths that are met for the boy. One where he would have been loved by all the Amazons as one of their own. An image of an older Naruto wearing a muscle cuirass designed to protect all of his major vital spots but allows the warrior to keep his movements free. He is also wearing greaves to protect the lower leg as well the cavalry. With a helmet to protect his head and a face mask for added protection. And to cap it all off, he is wearing his very own bracers just like the other Amazons would wear. Then she sees a warrior wearing black armor with different types of weapons and a black and orange face mask with only one eye hole. "Mommy," says a frightened Naruto. With how Hera was staring at Naruto, it was starting to frighten him. He tightened his grip of Kushina's skirt. Seeing that Hera is frightened her baby boy. "Stop frightening my son," demanded Kushina. "I don't care what fate wanted. I was just scared for my son's life. I would do it all over again if I had to. If the Amazons don't change their ways, and soon. They'll make enemies that'll come and wipes all of them from existence." Smirking, "Yes, I know, as well as the other gods of Olympus. It is only a matter of time before something caused the Amazons to fade in time and be forgotten just like in myth. And you, Kushina, started it. Your son will be the one that could have leads the Amazons into a bright future, but now his actions will be what will change not just those on Themyscira, but the rest of the world," explained Hera. "Mommy, the weird lady is scaring me." With tear forming in his eyes. Smirking at the scowl on Hera's face, "Leave," shouted Kushina. "I don't care what goes on outside of my home. My son will not become a plaything for the gods or for anyone. If I wanted that I would have stayed with my former sisters and throw him into the sea with the other males. Heed my worrying now, fuck with my son, and I don't care who you are, I'll kill you." "Watch what you say, Amazon." Hera hisses out the venom. "You just made an enemy today. I hope you are prepared for the consequences. I'll make sure that you watch as your former sisters torture your son in front of you, then watch as they finally kill him right in your very eyes." Egan. Leaping and swinging her sword that cuts through Hera as her body fades away. Seeing that the bitch who threatens her baby boy turns to the other target to take her fury out on, only to see Athena fled as well. "Run. Run, you cunts. I don't care if you're gods, men, or women. I kill anyone who threatens my son. Do you hear me?" yelled out Kushina. But the bravado quickly faded. She drops her sword, turns and grabs her little boy, her sunshine, her baby, her little maelstrom. Tears runs down her cheeks at the thought of losing him. Kushina remembers when Naruto was first born, the sleepless nights with him waking up every 2 hours crying. She would check to see if he was hungry or needed cleaning. At times she would just cry with him to try and get closer to her baby. Or the times when Naruto was smaller and Kushina would just watch him sleep as his little chest would go up and down. Kushina didn't care if anything happened to her, but if anything happened to Naruto she doesn't know what she would do. Mommy. Hearing her little boy call her. Kushina tries to lay his spiky unruly hair down, but to no avail. Just like his father, Minato's hair was just like this. She silently wished that Naruto had gotten her hair instead of Minato's, but then she wouldn't have anything to remember of the man she loved besides the necklace that he'd given her. Flashback end. Naruto still remembers that day. That was the day that his mother challenged Hera and Athena. It was kind of stupid on Kushina's part to challenge them, but she wasn't about to lose her son. His mother means well, but the fear of losing her son was too much and made her react for his safety in a very violent way. He still loves his mother very dearly. There was one thing that Naruto never told his mother that day. He sensed the negative emotions that she was giving off along with Hera. Her fear, hate, anger, and sadness was so overwhelming it was hard not to cry. He knew that those emotions weren't directed at him, but it still caught him off guard as he never felt those emotions before. Even after his mother's death and with Slade taking him in. The ability to sense negative emotions only grown stronger. Naruto remembers the first time he used it on the battlefield and he was nearly overcome with the anger, fear, hate, pain, sorrow, and so many more emotions, it nearly cost him his life. Hey. Breaking out of his thoughts, Naruto turned his head to see a goth girl standing in front of him. She has unruly black hair, pale skin, black shirt and pants, a silver ankh on a chain around her neck, and a mark of the Eye of Horus around her right eye. Can I help you? Naruto asks the girl. You do realize that you're out of bird feed, right? Naruto looks at his hands to find that indeed that he is out of bird feed. He was caught up in his memories that he didn't even know that he was empty-handed. Well now, this is embarrassing. I was so caught up going down memory lane that I wasn't paying action. Haha. Bigling, you're funny. My name's Didi, what's yours? Naruto, my name's Naruto. Fishcake. Maelstrom actually. Mom called me her little maelstrom because I had too much energy. What about you? Does Didi mean anything? Hums Didi as she takes a thinking pose, not that I can think of. I never really had a chance to ask my parents if it meant anything. Never had the chance to. They died a few years ago along with my little brother. That sucks. Now that's strange. What do you mean? When I say my parents and little brother are dead, people would say that they're sorry. You didn't. Because that's stupid. People say that I'm sorry for your lose. I never understood that. Random people. Who don't even know you and don't even know your parents and little brother say they're sorry for your lose, yet they don't even know them. It's an insult. Naruto says bitterly. Death will cause people to do stupid things, don't you think? Naruto nods, people will either rise to the occasion or falls into despair. It all falls onto how a person handles the secession. You know, for a couple of teenagers we talk about death real well, comments Naruto. Yeah, I guess we do. Hey. Do you want to get a burger? Says Did with excitement in her voice. Raising an eyebrow, sure. Naruto really didn't know how to answer that question. He can already tell this girl is strange. A strange aura surrounds this girl like she isn't fully there and yet all there at the same time. It is very confusing and strange. Shrugging his shoulders stands up and follows Didi. They walked for a few blocks till them came across a small diner. They go inside, sit at the counter, and order up 2 burgers. It didn't take long for their orders to be brought out. Didi takes hug bites out of her burger like she hasn't eaten in days. Naruto on the other hand is eating his burger at a much looser pace. There is so much grease in this thing. Thought Naruto. There is one thing that Naruto doesn't like and that is unhealthy food. Blame it when he was trying to survive in the wildness of Alaska. Food was hard to come back and you had to find the right type of food to keep your body going. In a sense Naruto treats his body like it is a temple. Yes, he does eat unhealthy food every now and then, but that is mostly candy. This is so good. Now I can see why humans loves to eat greasy food. It fills you up so fast and there's so much on it. Who knew by frying cow meat, kale, 3 different types of cheeses, tomatoes, peppers, and bacon. Didi somehow says with a mouthful. Humans. Catching what Didi said, what are you talking about? You're going on like you'd never ate a burger before and you're eating like you'd never ate before too. Just who are you, Didi? I did eat before, but that was 100 years ago. I'm death, Didi answers. I don't believe you, Naruto replies back. I wouldn't think you would, says Didi before takes another hug bite out of her burger. I never did understood life till I asked a little girl that died and you know what she said. She said that I was being mean. That I didn't understand what I was doing. So I came up with the idea that every 100 years I would walk in the land of the living to see what life is like and to see why people didn't want to die. I can say that when the very first time that I did die I hated myself. But as I did it over and over again and again, I slowly understood why people want to live and while others want to die, Didi explains before finishing her burger off. So let's say I believe you, why tell me? Naruto asks. Because you understand death better than most people. Like the time when you killed soldiers off in Liberia that attacked your camp as the civil war was ending. Said Didi. Naruto's eyes widen. He never told anyone that his camp was attacked as the civil war was ending. The only one who know that happened was Slade and he's dead. How? How do you know that? Only those that survived that night knows. Because I was there. I was there when you killed those soldiers in a blood rage. I was there when you killed those wolves in Alaska. I was there when you killed Gato and all those that worked for him. And I was there when your mother died. Didi finished explaining. Flashback. A squeal echoes through the forest of an animal taking their final breaths of life. Kushina takes her spear out of the boar she just killed. This will do nicely. Kushina says with a smile. Iridid grabs and lifts the boar like it was nothing and throws the boar over onto her shoulder with her spear in hand. Today is Themyscira's most sacred holy day known as the Feast of the Five. A day where every Amazon pay homage to the 5 goddesses who took part in Themyscira's creation. Many prayers and worship is practiced today. To start the day off, a hunt in honor to the goddess Artemis. Kushina arrives home to see Naruto picking vegetables from the garden to celebrate to another goddess Demeter for a plentiful harvest. Naru-chan, I want you to wash what you picked while I clean and strip the boar for our feast later tonight, Kushina explains to Naruto. Okay, mommy. Naruto says before running off. And make sure that you aren't spotted. Kushina yelled out. Naruto had to be even more careful during this time of year. The forest is filled with Amazons hunting for the Feast of the Five. With Naruto still being very young he can pass off as a girl because he took more after Kushina when she was younger, but when he gets older that won't be the case. Even now Kushina can make out that Naruto will take more after Minato as he grows older as time goes on. Naruto runs and jumps making sure he doesn't drop anything from his basket. He came upon the river that he and his mother would bathe in at nights before bed. The blonde kneels down and takes out a carrot before washing it in the stream. As Naruto is washing the carrot he hears a twig snap. Dumping, the blonde grabs a small knife that he brought with him. Who's there? Demanded Naruto. A girl the same age as Naruto walks out of brush. She has long raven hair and the clearest blue eyes that he'd ever seen. Granted, Naruto never seen anyone before besides the 2 goddesses that visited him and his mother a few months ago. The girl is also wearing a white chiton just like Naruto. Why are you so far away from everyone else? The girl asks. What do you mean? I'm not far from my home. All I have to do is yell and mommy will be here really fast. Mommy? Hee hee. You still call you mom that? Giggles the girl. Cheeks reddening, shut up. Mommy is mommy. She's better than yous. Naruto yelled back. Narrowing her eyes at the blonde, no she isn't. My mom is better than yours. Nah. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. Naruto. Diana. Kushina came running out from the bushes wielding a sword while another woman runs behind Diana with a broadsword on her back. The woman has long blonde hair, dark eyes, and is wearing some armor over a dark blue chiton. Hippolyta. Kushina gasps. Kushina. Where have you been all these years? The patrol said they would find you every now and then, but they couldn't follow you, says Hippolyta. Then she sees Naruto rushing over to Kushina to hide behind her. Oh. You had your daughter Kushina. Yes, I had my daughter. Lied Kushina. Yes, did you run that day? It must have been hard giving birth by yourself. Surely it would have been easier on you if you'd stayed. I didn't want to give birth with all the death that was going on, Kushina explains. It didn't feel right giving life near death would be good for Naruto. Naruto. You named your daughter the same name that man wanted. It was the least that I could do, Kushina answers back quickly. Iridid takes notice the little girl standing next to Hippolyta. The queen of the Amazons followed Kushina's gaze to her daughter. I see you noticed my daughter, Kushina. This is Diana, princess of the Amazons and heiress to Themyscira. Kushina, why haven't you returned? Asks Hippolyta. Because I didn't want to. I am just fine with Naruto and I. It's a quiet lifestyle. Yes, it is a little boring, but it's worth it, Kushina explains as she wraps her arm around Naruto's shoulders, calming him down. This is the first time that Naruto has ever met someone other than her and the 2 goddesses. He's a little scared because Kushina always told him to hide from anyone but her. I'm surprised that you decided to sleep with a man after all these years. I figure you would never become a mother. But I prayed to the goddesses for a child. I didn't want to sleep with some man and get pregnant, so by using clay and lots of praying the goddesses answer my prayers. It was difficult in the beginning, but after all I went through it was worth it, the blonde explains to Kushina. Kushina could always tell when Hippolyta was lying. She didn't pray to the goddesses she slept with a man and gotten pregnant. Judging by Diana's age she isn't that much younger than Naruto, which means Hippolyta was already pregnant with Diana when she was almost ready to give birth to Naruto, or shortly after. It is hard to tell, only that Naruto is probably a few months older than Diana. But that raises more questions than answers. They only capture men once a year and pass them around to only a few Amazons that want children. Hippolyta didn't want to give birth that last raid. Aying Diana one more time, there was no men that had raven hair or eyes that blue. That can only leave with that one of the gods came down and seduced and bedded her. Kushina, why don't we talk and catch up? It has been years since I'd last seen my lover, Hippolyta asked. Sure, Naruto finish washing the vegetables and come back to the cottage while mommy and an old friend of hers catch up, Kushina told Naruto. Okay, mommy. Naruto says with excitement, completely forgetting his fear that he had a while ago. Diana, help Naruto would you? Asks Hippolyta. Alright mom. Diana answered. Naruto and Diana go over to the stream and was the vegetables. Both Kushina and Hippolyta walk away from their children but keep them in eye distance. They both just stood there and stare at each other. It has been almost 5 years since they last saw each other. You know, when you left I was heartbroken. I wondered if I did anything to upset you, Kushina. No. You did nothing wrong, Hip-chan. I couldn't handle all the death. I saw our sisters throw their newborn sons into the sea. The same sisters that were very happy to be mothers. I couldn't stand to give birth in the same place as they were. You could have came to the palace then. Why? Why would you run? It's not like Naruto is a boy. Kushina didn't let Hippolyta finish by placing her blade to the queen's throat, please. I couldn't give birth to my baby without his death coming after. Kushina, you know the law. Only women and their daughters are welcome on Themyscira. Any and all men are to be captured if spotted on the island. If they are healthy enough, a few Amazons will have their way with the captured men before killing them. Any babies born male shall be thrown into the seas. You know this. You killed plenty of men on raids. I know this. Shouted Kushina, you think I didn't know? I killed plenty of men because they had women that were going to become slaves. When we raided that fishing boat and capture all the men. I wasn't going to have anything to do with them like the other were going to. Then Mintao. Tears start to form in Kushina's eyes, he saw my red hair. Hippolyta's eyes widen. Hippolyta remembers when both of them when they were younger. Kushina hated her red hair. Saying that it makes her stand out and be made fun of. That all changed one day when the shaman said that Kushina would find her soulmate with her hair. Kushina's red hair became a red string of fate. The A-man was your soulmate, says a devastated Hippolyta, but I wanted to be your soulmate, Kushina. It was no secret on the island that the queen of the Amazons was head over heels for the deed. She even went as far to start the courting ritual with Kushina. Now that Hippolyta can get a better look at Kushina, she isn't wearing the necklace or bracelet to show that they are still courting one another, but she did see a green gem hanging from a necklace around her neck. You thrown everything that we worked so hard for because of that shaman. I always loved your red hair, Kushina. Why didn't you stay with me? Did that man seduce you? How did he wormed his way into your heart and replace me? Hippolyta hisses out. Yes. Hippolyta was taken back by this, he gave me something that you could never give me. Minato gave me something that you could never give me, a child. A child born of love. I fell in love with Minato because he accepted his fate. While all the other men were begging and pleading for their lives. He didn't. Because of some man that accepted his fate to die. You throw everything away? Yes. I throw everything away when I got pregnant. Minato didn't show any fear or regret. The only regret he had was not seeing his child. I promised to Minato I would keep the baby no matter if it was a girl or boy. Naruto is my pride and joy. Your pride and joy. Yes, well our fellow sisters throw their babies into the sea just because they were born male showed that they weren't true mothers. Innocent lives are ended on those days. How can we worship goddesses that are allowing us to do this? And don't think I don't know about Diana. What? Hippolyta stutters, what are you talking about? I know Diana is a few months younger than Naruto. Our sisters raid ships once a year. Minato and the fishing boat he was on was that year's haul. That means after they were all killed one of the gods came to Themyscira. Which god did you sleep with? Do you dare ask me this? Hippolyta, you who broke our courtship. Yes, Kushina replied. Zeus, Hippolyta says quietly so that the children can't hear them, it was shortly after you left. I was devastated. I slept with Zeus and 9 months later Diana was born. So what now? Kushina asks, do we fight and kill each other leaving our children orphans? Or do we blackmail each other so that we don't harm those that we care for? Blackmail, Hippolyta simply says, we act like this conversion never happened. In fact, we never saw each other this day. I will say nothing about this so that you and your son can live in peace, but know this. If for some reason any Amazon finds you, I will not be held responsible. That will do. I will do the same thing about you and your daughter. Now leave. Says Kushina, ending their conversion and their friendship. Hippolyta and Diana leave while Kushina and Naruto watch them leave. It breaks Kushina's heart that she had to end her friendship with Hippolyta, but she made her choice all those years ago. She doesn't need anyone as long she has her little boy. Kushina would take the whole world on for him. Standing behind a tree with a clear view of both parties stands a figure. He is wearing black Greek armor with his helmet in hand. He is bald with a long red beard. He is none other than Ares, the god of war. Now it is time to see which is stronger. Those that are raised by nature or by those raised by nurture. Ares says before fading away. Flashback end. Edie and Naruto finished eating and are now walking down the sidewalk. The sun disappeared in the skies above only for the moon to replace it while they were eating. The city lights come on, giving the city life after dark. An older crowd came out as the younger went home. So, what do you want to do next? Naruto asks. Didi hums, oh, I know. I always wanted to go to a party. Scratching the back of his head, sure. Again not knowing what to do. They walked around the city looking for a party. Honestly, they had no idea where they were going. Both the blonde and goth never been to a party till they came to a nightclub. The place is packed. Posters of an up-and-coming musician is performing there tonight. Wow. Says Didi, this place is packed. Do you know who's playing? No, Naruto replies, I haven't been in the States for very long. It was kind of a lie. Naruto does stay in America, but only in Alaska. And when he does, it's out in the wildness. You came here and you don't know who's playing. A woman says behind Naruto and Didi. Both Naruto and Didi turn around to face the voice behind them. A pregnant woman is standing behind them. She is wearing a shirt with the words Dyke pointing up towards her head and the words baby pointing down to her large stomach. Naruto catches and understands the word and the meaning behind it. He understands that people will find love in any form they can get. It's not his place to say how or who they love. His mother, Kushina and Hippolyta were lovers before Minato came into the picture. Yeah, we came here because we wanted to go to a party. And what better place than a bar? Should you be here with that? Naruto asks out of curiosity and not out of rudeness. Oh, this? Says the woman rubbing her large stomach, I know the people that work here and I know who is performing nothing. My name is Hazel McNamara. When's it due? Didi asks. Any day now, Hazel answers while rubbing her stomach once more. Now tell me, how do you come to a bar that's known for performing bands and singers and not know who's performing? Never been to a bar or a party before. The same, Naruto chimes in. Ooh. He kicked. You want to feel him kicking? Hazel asks with clear joy in her voice. Sure. Didi places her hand on Hazel's stomach, so it's a boy. Yup. I got the ultrasound showing that'll be a boy. He's going to be my first and last. I have to go backstage right now, but I hope to see you after the show. Bye. Hazel leaves Didi and Naruto so that she can go backstage. Naruto could clearly see that Hazel is looking forward to giving birth to her son. Naruto wonders if that's how his mom felt. I can't wait to see the baby, Didi says. See the baby? I don't think Hazel will have you in the delivery room. She won't. I'm there when everyone is born, not just when they die. They just don't remember me. Really? Yes, you giggled at me. Shush. She's starting. Didi told Naruto. The stage manager came onto the stage and grabs the mic. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the undercut. Her name's Glove. This is her first gig. Treat her kind. A blonde-haired woman walks on the stage. She is wearing dark clothes and is holding an acoustic guitar. It shows that she wants her music to be pure. Without the use of electronic amplifiers to lose or reduce its natural sound accurately. It also could mean that money is tight and she could only afford an acoustic guitar and not an electric guitar. Good evening. This song is called Donna's Dream. It's about some people I knew. At least one of them is dead. My name is Judy and I died. On a bad day in 8-9. And I've come back to see you, girl. To talk about the old times. It's been a while, but you're looking good. Let's sit and drink some wine. And I wondered what you were doing tonight. In my cold place underneath the world. And there's worms inside my eyes. And my bones are getting dry. But I still love you, girl. Well, tomorrow I'll sleep in the ground again. But tonight I'll sleep with you. I've missed your lips and tongue. And touch so much. Say you missed me too. In the dark I kissed you, girl. I wonder if you knew. I wonder what you're doing tonight. In my cold place underneath the world. I don't breathe or sleep. I can't even spit or weep. But I still love, girl. I wrote you a letter. Girl, on the day I checked out. Said I hurt you 'cause I loved you. Was I wrong? And the seasons turn and the years go by. But the dark continues on. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. In the morning I'll be gone. And I wonder what you're doing tonight. Glow finished her song and the crowd clapped for her. Thanks. This next song was inspired by something my friend Wanda once said to me. She's dead too. Maybe it's contagious. It's called Tracks. If somewhere in the dark I am alone. Will you come to me? Bringing me your light. Wow, that's dark. What's with the dark songs? Naruto asks. Well, everyone handles death differently than others. Some of the greatest songs come from the death of others, Didi answers. Yeah, everyone handles death differently. Naruto simply answers. Naruto lets his mind wanders while listening to Glow's songs. Memories of that fateful day comes to surface. The day that changed everything. The day that he was forced to leave his home, his island. And most of all. The day that his mother died. Flashback. 3 years passed by since the encounter with Hippolyta and Diana. Since that day Kushina has been looking out for any passing patrols that came too close to her home. It didn't help that Diana would come over and play with Naruto. At first Kushina thought Hippolyta was using Diana as a way to cause the Riti to lower her guard, but over time she saw that Diana just wanted to play with Naruto. Seeing Diana and Naruto play together warms her heart. Knowing that Naruto has someone to finally play with kinda makes her decision to leave her fellow sisters behind, but more importantly leaving Hippolyta. It won't change anything. Kushina made her decision. Unfortunately that decision has changed fate for the worst. Oh. A scream echoes through the halls of the temple for the oracle. Many of the Amazons that were there rush towards their screaming sister. The one that is scream is Menelope, the Amazon's oracle. It is her job to see into the future and to see when ships are passing by for raids to take place. She has other visions like is a pregnancy is going to go good and not if the crops are going to come in nicely this year. What's is it? Menelope, what do you see? Asks one of the Amazons. I see. Death. A warrior in black and orange armor with a single eye. This warrior has blonde hair, blue eyes, and scars covering his body. He is one of us. He's an Amazon. A survivor. He will lead us to our doom. Through his actions we will not have any way of having babies. He will end us. Menelope shouted. Fear sets in. Panic arises. Word spreads like wildfire across all of Themyscira. One of their own gave birth to a boy and let him live. A traitor. The news reaches Hippolyta's ears. Fear sets in her as the thought of Kushina's death grips her. She knows what the Amazons will do to Kushina when they find out that she had a son and let him live. They'll slowly kill Naruto with Kushina being forced to watch and then they'll kill her in the same manner as punishment. But to make it worse. Diana will be losing a friend. For the past 3 years Diana has been playing with Naruto and she can say that Diana is developing a crush for the boy. She can see that Diana looks at Naruto as she once looked upon Kushina. Even if she doesn't know it. It'll break her heart that her first friend and crush may be facing death. Damn you, Kushina. Whispers Hippolyta, why did you let your fear rule you? I could have protected you and Naruto, but no all of Themyscira knows and they'll be wanting yours and Naruto's death. Hippolyta would shadow Diana when she would visit Naruto. At first she didn't want her daughter to be friends with the boy, but after watching them for a few hours she can honestly say that they needed each other. Diana, who is the princess for all of Themyscira and the Amazons, never had a true friend. They wouldn't see her for Diana, but as Princess Diana. When she is playing with Naruto he sees her not as Princess Diana, but just Diana. Naruto is truly Kushina's son. Kushina looked at Hippolyta as a person and not as queen. Naruto needed a friend that was not his mother. Diana being the friend he needed changed that. The shy little boy changed into the little ball of energy that he is now because of Diana. Hippolyta would happily call Naruto son in the future if he would have married Diana. But now it seemed that fate has other plans for him. Diana is happy. She just finished her lessons for the day and now is planning on meeting with Naruto afterwards. The princess always have fun playing with Naruto and Kushina's cooking is always so good to eat. Did you hear what Menelope said? Diana overhears 2 guards talking. Yeah. There is a traitor on the island. She had a boy and didn't end him like the rest. Now this boy will end our way of life. The guard didn't even hide her disguise. Oh, no. I have to let Kushina and Naruto about the traitor on the island, Diana says before running off. Did you hear that? Yeah, Princess Diana said Kushina. Kushina hasn't been seen in 9 years. Not since she was. Since when? The other guard asks impatiently. Since she was pregnant. Kushina is the traitor. We have to let the others know. Fate was sealed. It didn't take long for word to spread. Word that Kushina was the one that gave birth to a boy and let him live. The Amazons rose to arms and marched towards Kushina's home. Oh. Neri-chan, what are you doing? Kushina asks. I'm waiting for Diana to arrive. I want to show her what I can do now. Naruto says with excitement clear in his voice. Just because you can use sealing chains doesn't mean you can properly use them. And no one likes a show-off. Stated Kushina. It was a few days ago when Naruto had a chain shot out of his back. Kushina was so happy that her little boy could use magical chains just she can. Well, Kushina had mastery over her chains, Naruto didn't and has a long way to go before he does. Kushina's train of thought stops when she catches the smell of fire. That's odd. Where is the fire? I don't see any plums. An arrow flies by Kushina's cheek, cutting it. Her eyes widen as she turns her head. There stands a full squad of Amazon warriors. They are all pointing arrows at her and Naruto. The Redeed knew this day would come. It was only a matter of time. She has been preparing for this day to arrive. Naruto. I want you to run home and get mommy's sword. Don't look back and whatever you do don't stop running. Orders Kushina. Naruto didn't need to be told twice. He bolts from his mother and runs towards home. Kushina closes her eyes, breathes in and then out, and finally opens her eyes. The Amazons notice the change. The captain of the Amazons knows what just happened but never seen it before. What Kushina just did was thought to be impossible. Kushina let her rage boil to the breakpoint and let it break. The Redeed let the famous Amazonian rage take over. In a red flash, Kushina appeared in front of the Amazons as 4 chains pierce and kill 4 of the Amazons. The angry mother grabs an arrow and quickly shoves it into an eye, grabs a spear that quickly pierces armor and flesh, and a sucker punch knocked out the last Amazon. It would seem that my former sisters forgot who I was. Kushina says without pity. Kushina can honestly say that she is disappointed with the Amazons. The Amazons are known for being some of the fieriest warriors that walk the planet and they were slaughtered like lamb. It didn't take long for more Amazons to arrive at the slaughter field. Some of the newer Amazons couldn't hold the content in their stomach. Who could have done this? Asks on the older Amazons. This work is Kushina Uzumaki. Says none other than Philippus General to the Amazonian army. The general is dark-skinned with a body of a true Amazon that is both beautiful and deadly. She has dark black hair that's pulled into a high ponytail with a tiara. She, unlike the rest, is wearing golden armor. If Kushina is the one that has become a traitor, then we'll need the honor guard. Stated Philippus. Philippus knows how dangerous Kushina can be. Her skills alone make her deadly, but add in the use of her magical chains that have effects to not only be used in defense, but in offensive. But what made Kushina truly deadly is that she can control her Amazonian rage and will it through her very being. The Redeed could have gained the title of Wonder Woman. Oh. Kushina slowly stands up. She has her red hair into a ponytail, she put her old armor on after many years. Unlike the other Amazons that would wear a combination of metal and leather. Kushina just wearing armor made out of pure metal with leather straps. The angry mother leaves her home with sword in hand, only to be greeted with an army staring at her. Kushina. Shouted Philippus, do you know what you have done? Yes, Kushina calmly replies, I am acting like a true mother. I will slaughter all of you. I hope you have made your peace with this life because you'll be leaving it in a few short minutes. That was it. There would be no more words. No more talking. Just violence and death. 4 magical chains burst out of the ground, piecing several Amazons in one go. Acting quickly, Kushina charges the surprised Amazons. Cold steel slices through flesh and blood and steel. The crimson red of blood flies through the air. Kushina's sword swings were so strong that shields didn't hold against her very much. The archers fire their arrows at the monster of a woman only to miss and hit their own. The Red Death slides on her knees, cutting through her former sisters. Untrained and untested. Philippus tries and give out orders and commands, but there is too much chaos. Damn you, Kushina. Philippus curses inward, how are we going to stop you? Philippus searches through the battlefield and sees something, not something, but someone. The general swallows hard as to what she is about to do, but in order to save her soldiers, then she will do what is a necessity. Philippus marches over to Kushina's home and kicks down the door. Naruto, who was supposed to be in the hidden room, was watching the battle, is startled. Seeing one of the Amazons made it inside, the boy rushes away, but with her being older and taller that became for naught. Lifting the boy up to eye level only for him to be punched in the eye. Naruto bites her arm, which causes her to let him go. Naruto bolts out of the house with Philippus chasing after him. Mommy. Naruto shouted. Kushina turns around to see her little boy running out of their home with Philippus chasing him. An arrow pierces through Kushina armor, which goes through a lung, a sword blade passes through an opening hitting her liver, and finally another blade goes through hitting her kidneys. Magical chains shoot out, killing the ones that injured her in vengeance. Kushina rushes over, picks up Naruto and leaves the battlefield. The remaining Amazons follow her to end her and son. Running through the forest with bleeding wounds isn't helping that she is running at full speed and is carrying Naruto. There is only one way to make sure that Naruto lives, but it'll cost her her life. An arrow pierces her shoulder that's shielding Naruto. Kushina throws her sword and kills the Amazon that tried to kill her little boy. The Redeed runs to the cliffs of Themyscira and without a second thought dives off the cliffs and into the seas below. "Thetis," shouted Kushina as she came back to the surface, "I plead with you. From one mother to another. Save my son." The waves push and pull. The water moves Kushina and Naruto away from Themyscira, away from their home. For days Thetis used the seas to move the mother and son across the open waters with no land in sight, till land was sighted on the 9th day. Thanking Thetis, Kushina swam the rest of the way with what little strength she had left. Dragging her feet through the wet sands of the new shores, Kushina drops to her knees. Being in the ocean for 9 days without treating her wounds has caused infecting to set in. Kushina knows she's dying, but the only thing that she's worried about is her son. "Mommy, are the bad people gone?" Naruto asks. "Yes," Kushina answers back weakly, "they'll never both you again." On the pier that is overlooking the beach stands Slade Wilson. He just finished an assignment and was taking in the sights before leaving when he saw a clearly bleeding woman and what looks to be her son wash up onto the shores. "What do we have here?" Slade questions himself. Kushina see a man walking towards them. He has short white hair and a goatee that match his hair color and an eye patch that is covering his right eye. From the way he is carrying himself, from the way he is walking, Kushina knew that this man is dangerous, but more importantly, he can help Naruto. "Please," begs Kushina, "take my son. Give him the training he needs. The training for vengeance. Teach him that no one betrays in Uzumaki and gets away with it." Slade looks long and hard at the dying woman. It is clear that she is hanging on with her will alone. A mother that is trying to have her son taken care of. But what impressed him the most is that she figured him out to be a strong fighter. "I will," Slade simply says. "Thank you." Kushina says with tears in her eyes, "Naruto, I want you to kill all those that did this to us. I want you to make them pay for you just being born as a boy. Show them that you are my son, and with a death." With her last breath, Kushina takes off her bracelets and hands them to Slade, or takes them. Flashback end. Naruto and Didi stayed for the whole show that Glove gave. Afterwards they met up with Hazel and got to meet with Glove herself. They found out that Glove is a nice person and a really down-to-earth kind of person. They talked for a few minutes before they left the bar. The blonde and goth roamed the city throughout the night till the sun came back up and we find Naruto and Didi back at the park where they first met. They sit at the water fountain as the sun rises more and more. "That was some night," Didi says, breaking the silence. "I guess it was. I'd never really took it slow like that. So what now?" "Well, my time is almost up. Let's just talk till my time comes." "Alright, shoot. What are you going to do after you have your vengeance?" "I always asked myself that. I honestly have no idea. Thought about becoming a doctor and save lives. Or stay an assassin and continue taking lives. It seems my life revolves around either taking life or giving life. I find it strange." "How many are you going to kill?" "Huh? How many Amazons are you going to kill to get your vengeance?" Naruto blinks. He'd never thought about that. Should he kill 1? 10? 100? All of them? How many should he kill? "I'll kill just 1, but they will still pay for what they did to those babies that were born male. All life should at least get a chance at life," Naruto stated. Didi smiles, "That's the answer I was looking for." Didi takes necklace off and hands it to Naruto. "What's this for?" asks Naruto. "The gift that'll help you when the night becomes darkest, and this," Didi hands Naruto 2 pennies, "today was a good day." Didi stands up, then she stands on the fountain. She spreads her arms out before falling into the fountain. "Didi, I think the water is cold." Didi didn't say anything. "Didi, nothing Didi." Naruto turns around only to find Didi floating in the water of the fountain. He rushes over to her only to find that Didi is dead. Some of the few people in the park called for 911. Naruto brings Didi out of the fountain to lay her onto the ground. The blonde takes the 2 pennies and places them on her eyes. "May you find peace in the afterlife. Plains of gray lands. The land of black and white. Of nothingness." Didi sits up with 2 pennies on her eyes. "So that was it," says a voice. "Yes," Did replies while taking the pennies off her eyes. "How was it?" "Oh, it was wonderful. It was filled with people. I got to breathe and eat and all sorts of stuff. I wish it could have gone on forever. I wish it didn't have to end like that. It always ends. That's what gives it value. When you get to be alive even for a day, well, there's only one way to stop living." "I suppose so." "Was it worth it?" "I don't know. I think so. I hope so. I met such neat people. And I heard a song, I got to eat a burger, walked around the city at night, I wish it could have gone on forever. Take my hand, Didi." Didi did just that. The hand that she takes is herself only with a pasty white skin. Didi fades away only leaving death behind. Okinawa, Japan. Tsunade rubs her shoulders after a long day of work. A woman gave birth to twins, she gave a whole school flu shots, and she have to clean a shark bite for an unlucky swimmer. Tsunade closes the door to her clinic, but a foot stops her. "Tsunade," says Jiraiya. "Jiraiya? What are you doing here?" questions Tsunade. "I have some bad news. It's about the clans," Jiraiya says. "No." Tsunade imminently, "I left that life behind when I had Minato. I'm done taking lives." The Senju are still looked at as one of the most powerful clans, Tsunade. "Someone from the Senju clan has to be there. Tenzo can only do so much." "Naruto." "No." Tsunade shouted, "Naruto does not need to see that part of that world." "Tsunade, Naruto has already seen that part of the world. When he fought in the Liberian Civil War and when he killed Gato. Naruto is already part of the darkness. You need to call him. Naruto needs to be here for this." Jiraiya explains. What if Naruto hates the Amazon harem? End here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.